Exterminate! God, that was hard.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
Exterminate!
We are now live.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
Exterminate the FE core!
We are
Just had
now
to put that
live.
in there.
Resistance is futile. You must comply.
Exterminate the FE core!
We are
Just had
now
to put that
live.
in there.
Resistance is futile. You must comply.
Exterminate the FE core!
Terry, I think you
We
might
are
Just
now
had to put
live.
that in there.
Resistance is futile. You must comply.
want to bloody mute it.
Exterminate the FE core!
Terry, I think you
We
might
are
Just
now
had to put
live.
that in there.
Resistance is futile. You must comply.
want to bloody mute it.
Exterminate the FE core!
I don't think
Terry,
you need to mute here.
I think you
We
might
are
have
now
to
live.
mute the actual live stream.
It was stuck in a loop though.
I had a technical difficulty. I'm right now, I hope.
Yeah, you muted the actual live stream then, Terry.
It wouldn't come up for me. I'm trying to get it and it wouldn't come up.
Yeah,
I couldn't get it up.
You muted the.
We should be right now.
Hello, you muted Alan.
Did I mute Alan?
No, you didn't mute Alan.
Don't mute Alan! No!
No, I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Well, you
Wasn't
cut off
me.
mid-sentence there, Alan. We thought you got muted.
No.
No.
No?
No.
No? So are we doing anything?
Well, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm doing something, but I don't know if anyone else is.
Or put your pants back on and we'll do something different.
Okay then.
Well, everyone can see who's in the panel.
Oh, can they?
That's a good thing.
Are you sure?
Well, it looks like there's me,
Yeah.
and there's her,
Yeah.
and then him and that guy and that person, a radar array and a Shiluminati.
Ah, okay. And what planet's Carl on?
Oh, that's Earth Part 2.
No, that's Big Earth. Have you heard of Big Earth before?
Oh,
That's the little one.
Yeah,
Earth is-
how's that different to
Earth is
smaller?
too big.
Well, apparently Big Earth is a reflection of the moon of a flat Earth onto a what did he call it? Oh, that's right, a plasma sphere that surrounds the fake Earth and then projects a reflection of the big Earth inside of the plasma ball.
You lost me somewhere there.
Plain logic.
Who was this? Who said this? That sounds a bit flat Earth Aussie Jesus.
Actually, give me a moment. I will find out for you.
We don't.
It's not that
We
important.
don't give
You don't
moments,
have
but
to
we can lend them.
use up a few minutes of your life to find that out.
Oh, but I can.
We'll leave
I
you-
know you can, but I'm just saying if it's not at hand, it's not that important. I won't lose sleep. So we don't know what to say when the live stream starts off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there was a hitch, but it was very temporary compared to usual.
Yeah, and no direction from our glorious leader.
Leadership.
So you want me to tell you what we're doing?
Yeah, I think that's your job.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
Oh, we do have a video here. That I
Oh, we do.
yeah.
Does everybody like Professor Funbags?
Oh, you spoiled the surprise.
Oh, we're not. I'll have to leave.
Well, it's my fault. I put him onto it.
How long is it?
Not long.
Okay.
It's
I'll survive.
14 minutes, but we can stop it at any time.
I don't think it's all Professor Funbags, though, is it?
Yeah, I would just be careful what you say about her live, because it's easy to break community standards when talking about her, I've noticed.
Ah, but guess what? It's somebody else's copyrighted video. Ha ha ha!
And I don't think she's in it for very long.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's good.
Without mentioning any names, let's be honest. If the flat Earth community keep going down the way they are, they're not going to be able to make many more copyright strikes anyway.
No, and she's been known to be liable for this.
Yes, I think she's been in trouble twice now, so that only leaves one strike left, doesn't it?
Yeah, she withdrew one because she knew she was in the shit.
Yeah.
We should actually coax her into a real one that's not real, and that'd be fun. Anyway.
Well, I'm actually waiting for her to strike Casual Barman.
Oh, she won't touch him.
No, the sarcastic barman. Sorry.
Yeah, she won't touch him.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd touch her either.
I think he would, but it would involve a baseball bat or a bull bar.
Oh, yeah, he hates her.
Yeah. But
I did some videos on her and then I got bored with her and moved on. I only had to watch one whole live stream and I got bored with her.
She did try to copyright strike him on one occasion.
She's done it more than one to him.
And she sent him quite a few nasty emails and stuff, and quite a few nasty messages in all of his videos. So yeah.
So we're going to play this video?
Yeah, let's get into the video.
The consensus says. Can't see the video on the YouTube.
Insert on hold music. That's what I was thinking.
We don't seem to have audio. Have you got him muted?
There he is.
What's wrong?
Have you got him muted?
Yeah, he's got no audio. There he is.
No audio.
Nope.
I'm going to have to pick the right audio. Which one was it now?
I think it's the Orcs.
What do you mean it's 3 hours, 5 minutes long? Okay. I must admit that most of it consists of giggling and assorted rubbish. But there's a couple of very interesting bits.
We're right now. Us.
Where Professor Funbags gives us some important news.
And they should have audio in the stream.
Okay, so here's the news. I have been invited to participate in a Flat Earth conference in Romania, and I said
yes. They have
I'm
noise
going.
in the stream.
I'm so excited.
It's a shame that the live chat replay isn't on, because I took this opportunity to make a suggestion to Miss Lumpy Jumper as to what she could do when she attends this Flat Earth conference. We join her again a few minutes later when she's just reading out a couple of the comments, and she responds to mine. Let's see if she gets what I'm actually saying.
P. Mars, this stream is so Canadian. Oh, is it sweet and polite? Is that?
Why isn't she streaming from a bed?
Mr. Sensible, hello there. Ask him for a flat Earth map. We have a flat Earth map. If you go over to Antonio's Patreon, you can download the flat Earth map models that he's been working on. He's been doing a great job of those.
Well, with a helpful recommendation like that, what could I do? So I nipped over to Subirats' Patreon and I grabbed a copy of his map.
Your wish has been granted, Terry.
Oh no.
Well, I do like evidence.
Look at it. Look at it.
What?
Just what the bleeding hell is that? Really? Honestly, Antonio, you're presenting this as a map of the...
You pause that, please.
Is that a pro art painting?
Yeah, it's pro art, but it looks like he shot out an Easter egg.
Huh?
Easter eggs have more colour.
So there's no ice wall, it's just an ice infinity.
Oh, this brings up so many questions about, like, sanity.
Why
is Australia upside down? That's what I want to know.
Well, I thought we were upside down.
I'm still trying to work out the distance between us and Chile and...
Can you see, if I squint, can I see New Zealand?
Where's New Zealand?
Yeah, I was squinting to see if I could see New Zealand.
Yeah. New Zealand's been forgotten yet again, like an IKEA map.
There is New Zealand's always left off the map.
There is a map that New Zealand's left off.
Yeah, it's an IKEA map.
He has at least put Tasmania on there.
Oh, if I squint, I can see it.
There's a little dot in the right place for Tasmania, anyhow.
And there seems to be a bit of problem with, like, Mexico. It's a bit twisted.
I'm not even sure if he's got Mexico on there as the peninsula.
But Panama Canal, the section in between. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's heading towards Florida.
Okay. So if we travel directly east from Carl's place, we wouldn't hit Australia.
No. We would go to the ice wall.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh dear.
No, because isn't east a circle? Isn't east also a circle on an AE map? An AE projection, sort of, kind of.
No, it is not. It only refers to lines of, is it latitude or longitude?
Right, the longitude.
Which ones go north-south?
Longitude goes north-south. They're fine.
Yeah.
But latitude is it can be shown in rings on a AE map as well as rings on a globe.
But that's not how the planet works.
And those circles are what happens if you keep going east, if you keep taking bearings and going east. But the problem is, on an AE projection, once you get to the equator, they start getting far too bloody long.
Yes, and also a straight line on a globe is curved.
Don't start that.
Oh yeah, circle. Of course it is.
How can a straight line be curved? Because it's on a ball.
Yeah. Unless you look directly at it so that the curve is coming towards you and then going away from you again directly.
Yes.
So,
oh my goodness, we're
That
smart.
will appear to be a straight line.
That's right.
I still want to
But
get
it's
the
still-
definition of which way south from the North Pole. Exactly.
Yeah, that's that's the contention with these AE maps. Which way is south from the North Pole?
That way or that way?
Or that way?
Or, it could
or
have been that way.
Yahweh.
No, it might have been that way.
It could be Yahweh. So every direction from north is south. Therefore, there is no east or west.
I'm getting a headache.
Sorry, Terry, didn't mean to.
You should have watched the FTV debate this morning.
Oh my God! Oh,
They spent 2 hours arguing about the word level.
Oh no! No.
Can I just show you what happens if you get really funky with a
Funky.
if you get really funky with an AE projection?
Where's this word
Just let me
funky
share.
come from?
Just let me share for a minute, please.
Okay. You know
Careful,
where,
Terry. He might pawn bomb you.
his name's not Patrick.
Oh, all right.
Okay, do I have to change scenes? This is hard work, this.
Oh,
Black screen! Quick, share something!
I am.
blackness.
There.
Oh look what happens when you make an AE projection.
No.
That's not at the poles.
Where's Australia?
It's on the right-hand side. It's all warped and funny.
It's unrecognisable.
It warbles on a lot. Have a look at New Zealand.
Oh, no, it's all right. See, what it is, Australia's taken New Zealand out on the piss. Australia's come back pretty tanked, but New Zealand's wrecked.
Where's Gorgie? We need to take him for a walk and see how long it takes him to get
Where's the
from
map
one
of taking
side
him?
to the other.
Where's Australia?
On the right-hand side.
Where?
Where
The bit that looks like a blob and that's all smeared.
Where's my East Coast?
Oh my.
You can see the point of Queensland.
Yeah, Darwin
And it runs-
suffering.
So all the north side's actually the east side of Australia.
Yeah, Port Hedland's rather askewed.
And Tasmania's a little island on the far right-hand side of it all.
That makes my brain hurt, definitely, that type of...
It makes it look like you could get to Tasmania directly from South Australia.
Where is Tasmania?
It's all kind of smeared.
A bit smeared, sort of on 80 degrees from the centre point.
Yeah, no, not right.
The 80-degree line goes through Tasmania.
So... Okay. No, not...
And New
not
Zealand
okay.
goes from about 10 degrees to 65 degrees.
It's huge, but it's really narrow.
Why does Carl look like he still looks normal?
Thank you, Tom. By the way, it's courtesy of Tom.
Yeah, that is an absolutely brilliant site for doing AE maps because you can literally put anywhere in the world in as your origin. And you can also limit how far out you go. So you can do them that say just do one hemisphere.
And no, Carl, we didn't hand the controls over to Trump. If we hand it over to Trump, there would be no Muslims or black people in the world. Just saying.
Where's Atlantis?
Where's Atlantis?
Where's Atlantis?
Oh dear. Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us what stupid we shall burn, burn, burn.
All right, let's now Mr. Terry can go back to showing the video. But yeah, just so you know how stupid that AE maps can get.
Can we get back to Mr. Stupid Rats? Sorry.
Are you ready?
Well, having picked myself up off the floor, I decided it's only fair to let Mr. Subirats explain his map himself.
Really?
Can everybody see that?
Distribution of the continent.
Can you see the circles?
According to their ratio.
Yeah, they're not very good ones, are they?
So, time, hours, sun travel. The center here, this is where the sun, when it goes around the equator, which is this circle, the sun.
What? What did that? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's used the spirograph to draw these circles.
Yeah, but he pointed to the North Pole of where the sun is. How can the sun be at the North Pole?
Well, it obviously doesn't put out much heat up there.
So much stupid.
Well, we have to let him finish. Maybe it makes more sense.
Is it just me, or does South America distinctively look like it's kind of falling sideways?
He couldn't fit it in.
Yep.
Oh, right. Yep. Okay.
You guys honestly believe it's going to get better from here?
No.
Well, we have to give him a chance, right? You know, we've got some heavy bias going on against this. Give it a chance.
Daytime, nighttime.
Excuse me. I've still got a spanner in his. I've still got a spanner in there. So.
I'm jealous. He took mine away.
By his map, New Zealand is off the coast of Queensland.
I wouldn't be wearing that as a badge of honour.
Is my brain reset?
At least he's got New Zealand on that one.
They're just in the wrong spot.
It's a bit far away. Oh dear, here we go.
Sun, when it goes around the equator, the center of that circle is here.
Okay, we got that, Antonio.
Now, this center never stays fixed. It's continuously moving, always has done, always will do. It moves from this central point here, down to this point, as the sun narrows to go around the Tropic of Cancer.
Hold on, Subirats, me old mucker. Those circles, Tropic of Capricorn, Cancer and Equator, you have not got them as concentric. And yet we know for a fact that when the sun's over the Tropic of Capricorn, it is overhead at exactly 23.4 degrees south. When it's over the Tropic of Cancer, it's 23.4 degrees north of the equator, i.e. the same distance north or south of the equator. You've got it different. That doesn't equate with what we know. Your map is wrong already. Go on. Let's see how much more fail you can give us.
It then swings back towards the center and then over this way to here when it goes around the Tropic of Capricorn.
Was he describing a year or
what? It's not at a fixed distance from the surface of the Earth at any point. Its circuit is continuously oscillating. We'll make it an oscillation with my hand. It is continuous.
Oh, I can't believe this.
Oscillation.
Okay, I have a question. Now, do we know anyone in South Africa?
Maybe.
Put your hand up if you're from South Africa.
Carl, I have a question for you.
Fire away.
During the summer equinox, is the sun ever directly overhead in South Africa?
No.
Okay, have you seen where he's got that tropic going?
Yes. he's kind of missed us.
Also, the fact that the equator is going through Darwin in Australia, I think is a little bit off.
Yeah.
Just
At least he did get some of it in Africa. The equator, I mean.
It's just...
The equator about right where it is, where it meets the prime meridian, off West
Which
Africa.
one? Which one?
The meridian that runs through Greenwich in London, and then where it is meeting his line of the equator, that is actually pretty much in the right spot.
I think it's the only spot he's got right.
Yeah, I was going to say, but it's about in relation to the continent of Africa as he has drawn it. That is about the only spot that's correct.
But you do notice that none of the circles are actually centralised to the North Pole.
Yes, I realise that.
But it's because he is trying to use a two-dimensional projection of the planet using 3D modelling. It's no worky.
But the sun, wouldn't the sun move sideways? Like, so much stupid.
And the last bit he just mentioned how the sun goes up and down like on a roller coaster. It gets
But
closer.
that physically moves sideways.
No, it oscillates.
No,
Yeah, it goes up and down.
It oscillates in and out.
And up and down.
I think.
In and out, up and
No,
down.
he said it was, no, I thought he said it was a fixed height above the ground.
No, he's using his hand to make it like it oscillates
Yeah,
up
I know.
and down. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was. I think he was oscillating his hand, not in the directions he actually wanted to, because.
I have asked this question in a couple of chats before. Without using magnets, what force is pushing the sun between the tropics?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That moves sideways.
Magnetism.
So it's Mr. Magic Space Hammer Man, but he's having the sun instead. Maybe he's Sun Hammer Man.
Okay.
Doing this, I'm exaggerating.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rimmer. You smeghead. You complete and utter gimboid. Red Dwarf references for those who like quality comedy. Antonio, here's the sun. Here's the earth tilted. As it goes round, the tilt stays the same. There's your oscillation, pointing away, pointing to. You must do better, son.
But it is continuously doing this. So trying to get readings of the sun in terms of distance with a protractor, we're always going to have questions because the centre of this oscillation also moves.
I'm not surprised you're going to have problems if you're just trying to use a protractor to measure the distance of the sun. Look, forget all this bit, jump onto something else. This is just rubbish.
So, this oscillation you can detect. First of all, you can see that this is the line for the Tropic of Cancer, because here's the Sahara, here's the Arizona, and here's the Gobi and the Asian deserts. This is the Tropic of Cancer. This is the equator, therefore the equatorial regions where jungles are on the equator, including the north of Australia, which was described by Cook as a tropical zone.
Fun fact, Antonio, Darwin, which is pretty much as far north in Australia as you can get, is 12 degrees south of the equator.
As the sun makes its way round, being propelled by a magnetic force which vortices out.
The sun is propelled by a magnet or magnetic force. So sometimes it pushes the sun away and sometimes it pulls it back again. Clever stuff.
This force that pushes the sun also pushes moisture. So as the sun arrives to this area, it drops moisture. Now we're going to concentrate on when the sun is in the area where
let him
it can be
finish.
detected.
No, we can't.
So it makes circles.
Sorry.
And it gets to a point, it's making a circle.
Sorry, but you can't
But I was
Oh,
just
hang
I
on,
was gonna
hang on.
say about water.
Hang on. You can
Is it the tides or something like that?
you can actually move water with a magnet. Well, a magnetic force. It can be done, but it's
How big does the magnet need to be?
nah. It's not like it's not like picking up a nail with a magnet. That won't work, right? It's diamagnetic though.
Diamagnetic. It's like trying to explain to them what dielectric means. Dielectric means no electricity passing through, you numbnutsers. Have they heard of dielectric grease?
Yeah.
It
Right,
stops corrosion from electrical particles.
Yeah, so all right, without getting into it, you've all seen that movie, The Red October?
Yes.
Yes. Now, the technology that movie was loosely based on actually does exist and does work.
The caterpillar drive.
The caterpillar drive. It does actually exist and it does work.
Yes.
However,
They can
it's
use
not
it in
efficient.
air as well.
Yeah, it's not efficient, hence why they don't use it. And for it to work, they need a shite load of electronics and super cool fucking shit for it all to work. So
Yes, they need super cool conductors to be able to propel the water without any noise.
No, you can actually, there is an experiment you can do at home to make it work, to show it working, just using electricity and plates and water. You can make it work on a small scale.
Now, do it for a planet.
However, for a planet, and to justify a burning plasma ball of gases in the sky moving, that doesn't work.
But what you've missed here is he says it brings the rain.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's the rain he was talking about. I was wondering if he was going to go to something about the tides.
Yeah, no. I just love it though. They'll use a justification that's, well, it's kind of feasible in ways that, well, maybe, that works, but nothing to do with what you're fucking talking about.
Oh, dear.
Press play.
Circle there, it stops spreading outwards, and then it starts to spread back inwards, back to the equator. So when it slows down from speeding out, so when the spread outwards slows, and entrism starts, at that point, there's heavy heat.
How many kilograms of heat?
Which causes the deserts here, and here.
Actually, that should have been newtons
Now,
of heat.
as the sun arrives, it brings with it moisture.
The sun brings moisture. What, is that every day? Antonio, you are pulling this stuff out of your butt. I've had enough of this. Move on to something else, something that please makes sense.
But there's also this. You'll notice here, that line that just happens to coincide with the eclipse of 2017. Now, I've not drawn this based on the eclipse. I drew this, and then Hillbilly came and explained about the eclipse, and we looked at it, and it's like, yo, this is mighty close to where I've drawn this line. Now,
mighty close.
I'll show you what the eclipse is going to do.
Antonio, eclipses don't just follow the lines of Cancer or Capricorn, which this one is not, and you do realise you're showing the curved path of the eclipse on a globe.
Yeah.
This is the region where it's going to fall. Now, it should fall. This is where I have the Tropic of Cancer at this point.
Antonio, it's not up to you where the Tropic of Cancer or Capricorn is. The Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is the limit of sun being exactly overhead. It's not just something you have a theory about. It's something you measure. Now, honestly, I'm really getting fed up with this. Please, please have something for us, or we're going to have to call this to a close.
Now, you'll notice here the positioning of South America. Now, I want you to think of a globe, or even the Gleasons, and how South America is located. The way it's located is you have this area is an hour to the east, and this area is 2 hours to the east. Now, in the real world,
Terry,
this area...
Terry, pause. Okay, so South America is east. Which direction is Australia? Are we south? Or are we north of north?
You are undefined. Sorry, but you are undefined.
Was that a trick question? That was a trick question, wasn't it?
Can someone please scratch my brain? It hurts.
He just said, okay, this part of South America is 1 hour east.
Yeah.
East of what?
But
of Miami.
That's irrelevant.
Right.
That's irrelevant. But the other...
No, it's quite relevant.
Your other east.
Oh.
But here comes the other funny thing. Okay, he talked about the tropics. Both of them are going through deserts. Where he's got it going through South America, there is no desert. There's this giant
Yeah. But then down the other side of South America, there's this very long, very thin thing called the Atacama Desert at like very high altitude.
Yeah.
Which is, I believe, the second driest place on Earth.
And where is?
And guess who's number one?
And which line's the one that's running through the desert of South Africa? That one matches. That matches North America.
It's a little bit of a leftover below there.
Mm.
Yeah, his all right, where he's got some equal distancing happening, he's got it not bad, but where we're concerned,
pretty bad elsewhere.
Yeah, where we're concerned, the fact that we've got the tropics and the desert right next to each other. Our country doesn't work that way.
Mm.
Also, does he know how far the deserts actually protrude into South Australia and Western Australia? The desert makes it to the Great Australian Bight.
I can share an image for that.
Did somebody say crickets?
No. No. We need crickets.
Were those Scottish crickets?
Those Scottish. Yes, Scottish cricket. Yeah.
Yeah, watch out, or you'll get the.
Daytime, nighttime.
Oh. Stop reminding us.
Yes, Terry's looking for said image.
Yeah, only because it's not where it was supposed to be. I'm trying to figure out how to share it. Oh shit, that's not going to work.
Oh my god.
Nicholas, come here. Come here.
Alright, see if I can share this.
Come here.
Alright.
Can you say, Earth's not flat?
It's not flat.
Not flat.
Why aren't I sharing?
Oh.
You are.
Listen very carefully. I shall say this only once.
Look at that desert. Oh my goodness.
Am I sharing to the YouTube stream?
Yes.
Yes.
You're sharing.
Oh shit, I thought I was sharing
Not
my
on
desktop.
YouTube, you're not.
Oh.
No, on YouTube you're not.
Oh, cool. There you go.
You've got your car on the YouTube.
Have I?
Yeah.
Well, how am I supposed to get the...
Because you have to go back to the you have to go back to as if you were sharing YouTube.
Is that better?
Whoopsie.
But I'm not getting the whole picture in. Oh, shit.
Oh, just get the important part.
Wait a minute, we might be able to... No, that didn't help, did it?
Wait a sec.
No good? I can't make it fit.
Oh, that'll do. That'll do.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that'll do.
That's what Subirats said.
But this goes
Oh,
to show
no.
exactly what I asserted. The desert goes to the Great Australian Bight. I would know because I've been through there. Now, he gets the tropics going through Darwin, and then he gets the other tropic going through the top of the desert, even though he stated that where the tropics goes, where the deserts go.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Can I just point out one little problem with this lovely pictorial, though? There is another desert in Australia.
Sandy desert, isn't it?
Yeah, the sandy desert and the little desert.
And where would they be?
Down near Victoria.
Yes, but we're basically focusing on the Simpson Desert, which is the largest desert in Australia.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that totally throws out his whole premise of where the magical line goes. That's where all the deserts are.
Yeah. And,
It completely throws it out. Absolutely.
and what about the largest desert in the world?
Oh, you mean the one at the South Pole?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
The one that fills an entire continent.
Oh, the one that doesn't exist. Except for a giant ice wall around our flat Earth.
I will refer you back to my previous AE projection that had a huge Antarctica on it.
Oh dear, oh dear. My head, help, help.
I thought I had the other image of what you're talking about, but since I've done a clean-up, I might have lost that one.
Oh, Kristen Frost is laughing at us.
No.
I'm glad somebody finds. I'm glad somebody finds us amusing.
Oh dear. Where'd that go? Back to the silly.
Ah!
Is an hour to the west, and this area is 2 hours to the west. If we say this is a meridian, if we say let's have this as a meridian, determine that, okay? This is an hour to the west of that meridian, and this is 2 hours to the west from that meridian in the real world. How do we know this? Because when it's 6 o'clock in New York, it's 4 p.m. When it's 6 p.m. in New York, it's 4 p.m. in Buenos Aires. When it's 5 p.m. in Michigan, it's 4 p.m. in Colombia.
Wait a minute. Go back. Now, between Perth and me, it's 2 hours, isn't it?
Yes.
No.
Unless it's daylight saving, it's 3 then.
Okay. Here comes the rub. Between Adelaide and Perth, it is 2.5 hours.
Mm.
Between Adelaide and Melbourne or Sydney, it is half an hour.
Yep.
Therefore, 3 hours between Sydney and Perth.
Right, 3 hours.
It's two. That's daylight saving. When it's not daylight saving, it's 2 hours for Sydney. Or Melbourne.
What did
at the moment? It's 2 hours difference in Perth at the moment to Melbourne. In summer, it's 3 hours because of daylight saving.
But I have friends who live in WA, and I bet you if I asked them right now, they'd say it's just a bit past 7 o'clock.
What?
All right, it's 2.5 from Adelaide to Perth.
It's 8:13. It's 8:13 p.m. in Perth at the moment.
It's 8:13 in Perth right now, and it's 10:13 in Melbourne right now, which is 10:13 in Sydney.
It's an hour per 1,000 miles, not 1,000 kilometres. That still doesn't work either.
Go on, Blazer. I want to see where you get this from.
What? That's what I'm saying.
I don't work in miles. I only work in kilometres.
Oh, no.
If it was 1,000 kilometres an hour, it'd be 4 hours behind.
It's simple. It's an hour for 15 degrees of latitude. For 15 degrees of longitude.
I'm confusing.
So,
Continue. What happened to the instructor?
He's gone BRB. We have to chat amongst ourselves.
No.
Don't panic! Don't panic!
Well, we suck at chatting amongst ourselves.
I'd like to see where he gets to the sunset.
well, yeah.
Okay, as we all know, a sun cannot set on the flat Earth.
Well, of course, but
Yeah.
how is he going to explain that? Like the sun going down, the sun coming up.
Because from all observations done by real people, the sun is in a fixed position.
So here's a really good question I've got that I'd really like to ask Mr. Subirats. And maybe because
Because you have a spanner.
No, I was going to say because they always duck and weave around these fucking questions. This particular question, they use diffraction and all of that as a justification for their excuse. But if you released a balloon like and I'll use the balloons that they used to do that the Bureau of Meteorology used to do the weather measurements and all of that. Now, those things are pretty bloody big. So when they go right up high into the atmosphere, you can actually see them fairly good on a clear day because they reflect sunlight really well. Now, they can go up thousands upon thousands of kilometres into the air and you can still see the bloody things. However, I can't see thousands and thousands and thousands of kilometres on a flat Earth.
Oh, but they tell you that's because the atmosphere is too thick as you're looking through it lower.
But that means the balloon right above me, 1,000+ kilometres up in the air, would still be going through the same amount of atmosphere.
Guys, I have a news alert. Dinky Dory has just put in the chat that she got asked if she wanted to go to a Flat Earth conference in Melbourne.
Oh!
Have you got an address?
Yeah, well, I can't go.
Melbourne, Ken.
Where's Rich? He said something about staff discounts.
Yep, he's going to fly the whole Ozzie Perspective into Melbourne.
And there'll be more of us there than flat earthers, probably.
Merle will probably come down for that, and Scotty Storm.
Oh, Scotty Storm's in Melbourne, so
yeah,
he'll be there.
Yeah, he'll be dressed, sort of.
Flat Earth Aussie Jesus would wear his Gandalf hat there,
and and carry his stick.
Yeah.
can we get dates or anything like that, or locations, or?
Actually, Mr. Bowler, you're good at research.
Yeah, he's the research secretary.
Fine. All right, give me 5.
Have you got your dress yet?
Look, I've put the high heels on. The stilettos look really good with the
fishnets.
Well, yeah. Look, I had to get a Gardiff to go with the fishnets because they kept slipping down because I don't have the calves yet.
Just got to
So I got the full Garter belt.
Matching bra and panties.
Yeah.
Do you need a push-up bra or just a normal one?
I need something in a cup though. You know, like.
Oh, you got a pirate's treasure, a sunken chest.
A sunken chest, that's the one. All right, let me go do some Google foo. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. Do you want us to play the video for a minute, or
convention?
You play the video. I've just got to open 13
more tabs.
13 tabs.
13 more
I've got
tabs.
to open up 13 tabs, or else Flat Earth doesn't open for me.
Okay.
Be careful you don't run out of RAM.
Hey, there's 2 conventions in Europe, one in Kidderminster and one in Amsterdam.
What's that?
There's 2 FE conventions in Europe in September.
Yeah, you were going to go, Alan. You were going, Alan.
England,
You're going to catch
one in
the
Amsterdam.
train. You're going
Did
to
you hear
catch the
Lumpy
train.
Jumpy got invited to the one in Amsterdam?
Did she?
Is that Orphan?
It was at the start of the stream. My goodness.
That one in Amsterdam, they had to
Was
come
that the
back.
Amsterdam one she was invited to?
Yes.
Because
The Amsterdam.
it's piss, it's Jaren, Pissy Pete, and no, sorry, not Pissy Pete. Dave, Dave likes to drink his own.
No.
Oh, allegedly, Dave.
Allegedly, Dave.
Okay.
Allegedly, Dave. Yes, it.
Okay, I'll put my hand up. Rightio. So I found one group of people that are meeting up in. They call themselves the Melbourne Flat Earth Group, and they're people. They're people who are open to the reality of the flat Earth and the spiritual significance, a safe place and of acceptance, an opportunity to just share in a social environment. Please be aware that we do not support the Flat Earth Society. Now, I bet they don't support Flat Earth Core either, but anyway, we won't get into that. Apparently, there's a meetup of a few of us, being them, not us, on Sunday, the 1st of September, 2018.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Last year.
Last year.
2018.
Yeah, tomorrow last year. Yep. We're going. We'll use the Wayback Machine.
Where's the Wayback Machine? But that's the only one that I can find at the moment. But that means there is a fucking group floating around Melbourne doing it. That's scary.
Cool. Oh, that's scary, yeah. I'm glad you've got it.
Oh, guess where they might be? Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Check Facebook.
I will.
You do
Oh,
Facebook.
bugger. Bastards, they've changed the bloody dates for their tour around the UK. And Norwich is now going to be tomorrow. And I wouldn't be able to get there, and B, because there's no public transport, and B, I'm being taken out to a much nicer event.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm not going to be able to go. I'm not going to be able to go to Norwich and crash into them in my power chair.
Well, toss up one hand, nice cars and stuff, or go to a flat Earth meeting. Yeah, decisions.
And potentially get arrested for having an accident with my power chair.
Good officer, it won't stop going forward.
Yeah.
And backwards, and forwards, and backwards.
And forwards.
And rotating. It reminds me of the bit with what's her face where she makes the Daleks do the dance.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Have to see that.
At the end, when Davros is trying to completely destroy the universe.
Mm.
Oh, the ginger one. I've forgotten her name.
Oh. Back to silly.
Donna.
Donna, yeah, okay. Back to the video. There can't be much more stupid left.
Clock in New York, it's 4 p.m. When it's 6 p.m. in New York, it's 4 p.m. in Buenos Aires. When it's 5 p.m. in Michigan, it's 4 p.m. in Colombia.
What a load of total hogwash. Antonio, what the hell are you playing at? You have just moved the entire continent of South America from here, where it is, to over here somewhere. On your map, if you were down in Chile, in Santiago, somewhere around here, and flew directly north, you're going to end up in the middle of the Pacific. In reality, let's just zoom in a bit. There's Santiago. If you fly north, you'll go pretty much up the coast to Chile and to Peru. In your map, you'll be going out here somewhere. It's not real. Forget clocks. Clocks are just convention. That's why you get summertime or daylight saving time. You just move the clocks forward. That doesn't matter. What matters is the physical position of where you are. And Brazil, over here, is not somewhere around here. I call total and utter BS on that map of yours, Antonio. That's the biggest bunch of fail I have ever seen. Orphan Red, if you're impressed with young Antonio's map, it's a pretty sad state of affairs. If I were you, take this top tip. I suggested that you go to that conference and ask them for a flat earth map. What I suggest you don't do is go to that conference and take a copy of Antonio's, because you will be laughed out of there. Well, that was really enjoyable. Really was. Thanks again so much for viewing. I appreciate the comments, the likes and the subscribes. If you haven't already, please hit mini-me down in the corner and subscribe. As always, a big thank you to my patrons. Elizabeth Schneider, Frank Kelly, Simon D and Mitch Goldstein. Thank you very much. The Conspiratar Cheese Awards nominations will be closing in just a few days. It's your last chances to go and vote anonymously. Just go and see the awards nomination show up there and then make your vote. Until next time, my friends, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.
All right.
I'll tell you what, I'd actually like to see Orphan Red try and go to the convention in Amsterdam using a flat earth map for navigation.
Oh, she knows it's a load of crap anyway. She's just...
I'd also like to see Orphan Red wearing spandex and lycra, but, you know, that's not going to happen either.
Well, highly likely, actually.
Hey, but what about Orphan in Amsterdam?
Oh, well, that means she has to wear vinyl.
Okay, so a little bit of Facebook research. I have found Flat Earth Melbourne 2. Back on the 22nd of May, there was a post. Any news on when next meet-up will take place? Still wanting to meet you guys. Oh, by the way, this group has 21 people in it.
Well,
In the comments,
35.
In the comments, it says, "Organise one, Johnny. I'm useless lately." What's up, mate? You feeling a bit under the weather?
You allowed to share that?
He's reading it out. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
This is what made me laugh. Okay, he goes, "Organise one, Johnny. I'm useless lately." What's up, mate? Feeling a bit under the weather? Where in his comment did he say he wasn't feeling well, that he couldn't organise a meet-up?
He just said he was useless, like all flat earthers.
Okay, so we go back, and there's another one. Okay, where did it go? Flat Earth Melbourne. They have 148 people like it. But they haven't posted since the 30th of July. So 2 months. One of the last.
They all hiding.
One of the last posts was Martin Kenny and his cosmic egg.
Well, I found 4 groups on Google, and all of them had a very similar story to yours, including 2 flat Earth groups of 118 people and like, one of 30 members. And for some reason, none of them have posted in the last 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, there's a how would you say?
Like a wind of change blew through. They got woke. Hit by a bus.
Getting woke, it's like a disease these days.
It is.
All right. So we got another video.
I didn't plan ahead tonight.
Hang on.
We could watch something entirely different.
Now for something completely different.
Or it's in homework, and Juno put it in above with the Wizard of Oz.
Juno giving us homework. What?
Above the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, you got to scroll up a fair way because I don't think we watched that.
Yeah, scrolling takes time. You know that, don't you? Where's the Juno? Where's the Juno?
All right, I've got it.
Tartary or the Great.
It goes for 9 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, may the E-Force be with you.
Do you want me to post it in the side chat here, Terry?
No, I've got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you agreed to it or not. Majority vote. We're a democracy.
We're up for anything.
I won't say I'm easy, but I'm cheap.
I'm not fussy about the type of stupid I view. I'm open to it all.
Oh, Juno's open to flat Earth. Ooh.
Open to watching.
I like to watch.
I like to watch too. I'm going back in my corner.
Yeah, go sit down in the naughty corner.
I won't.
Right,
Don't find innuendo where innuendo did not exist in the first place, so you have to sit in the naughty corner.
But it's not an innuendo until someone says it.
What, you never say innuendo deliberately?
I'm full of innuendos.
I could say something about you, mate, but I'm sure I'd get in trouble again.
Again?
Oh, this is the libel one. Which one did I post? I didn't think I just picked anything from him. It will make everyone laugh, no matter what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I had to scroll up for this one. I forgot that we had that. It'll do for a random. Okay. If anyone wants to stop half through, you can put your hand up or yell out or scream.
Oh, I think yelling out's a bit easier than the palms.
Okay.
Great Tartaria Empire is fascinating. It's totally something mind-blowing that changes the whole perspective. Now, everybody knows today that the whole history is fabricated. Everything we know is a lie. And capitalism and communism are not the best ways to rule or to...
I don't think you can hear it. I haven't got this audio. Ah, shit. I keep forgetting which one it is.
And
I don't know if you're streaming either, Terry.
No, he is not.
Because we see now.
Yeah, you don't want a picture of my car.
Dinky Died Dory, is it a window or idioms that confuse an issue?
Bugger.
Anyone? Anyone?
Bueller.
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 Ah! What have you done?
I don't know. I'm lost.
Well, at least we're back.
I'm trying to find the video.
It's over there.
Oh dear. I done?
Oh, Jen is in the chat.
Hi, Jen.
I didn't even notice you, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Howdy doodle.
Why can't I do that? Oh, okay. That's the one there. I've got to share that.
Here we go.
Now we should be right. And I keep forgetting.
Oh my god.
No, still come up as your car in YouTube.
No, you got to give it.
No, there it is.
Yeah.
There it
Come
is.
through now.
We even had Not Your Witness watching us. We're famous.
My goodness, how did that happen?
Now, hopefully we got sound. Here we go.
Oh.
I'm hearing nothing.
I think it's really low.
Very low.
I'm hearing nothing.
I think it's really low.
Very low.
I don't know what the setting was for the sound.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I remember Alan something about auxiliary, perhaps.
Alan.
That's auxiliary. Try auxiliary.
Also, if you remember that movie with 300, I think it was called, with the Spartans, the god king of Sparta and erased any memory from history. The king of Sparta, the leader, said the history will remember a group of men, a brave men who stood up against tyranny, who wanted to fight for freedom, fight for what we know is true as a human being. So, going back to Tartary and Tartaria, starting with old pictures in black and white, you can see that something happened, and they were constructing things after what we call the reset or the mud flood, when the earth level rose and it got to a new level, covering buildings that we know that they existed there beforehand. They were not constructed, they were not built by our humanity, and everything that was built new was built upon a recent humanity that disappeared somehow. And also there's a before and after for all these buildings. So now when I go in a city, it doesn't matter the country you're in, all countries still have remnants of these buildings that you see the windows underneath the current ground level, which means that something happened worldwide. Considering this, and also this building, for example, it's a perfect example how that entrance is much bigger originally than it was, and you can see the windows cut by the current ground level, which means that the former ground level was much lower than the present ground level. And it's everything points out the fact that these were giant created buildings for some reason, and giants and people were living together.
Okay.
He's talking about giants.
You sure we haven't watched this before?
No, not this guy. We did another mud flooder.
Because I remember the image.
Yeah, they all use the same images, Terry.
Oh,
yeah.
I was going to say, is that photographed by any chance in the place in Texas that's right down by on the coast that got flooded in 1900?
Oh, you mean down near Houston?
Yeah.
You know, that's where they send like rockets into space because it's near the ocean.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it's Houston. It was. They ended up having to lift the whole town by between 8 and 20 feet.
Anywho.
Because it got inundated by the sea during. There's a really good video on it by the history guy.
Yeah, but all of history is fake, and this is a new civilization that was built on top of an old civilization. So, yeah.
Anywho, the point I was getting to is this guy doesn't know how to look at architecture properly.
Oh.
Okay, on the front corner of this building, there is an entryway that is raised. Okay, so I have a feeling inside this factory, there are conveyors that go down. And there would also be conveyors that go up, looking at the size of the sided windows. Now, what happens is certain products come in through there, and depending on what type of product it is, it'll either go up or it will go down. So down is probably processing, up is probably some form of sorting facility. Now, he seems to think that there was mud that come up to make this happen. Well, no, this building was purposely built that way. Bloody numpty.
Yeah. And the city I was thinking of was Galveston, Texas. On Galveston Island.
Yeah, Galveston, that's it.
Because some flipping hurricane, they built the city without building any sea defences, and then it got inundated by a hurricane, like between 10 and 20 feet deep with water. So they lifted the whole island up, lifted all the buildings up. It was quite a feat of work.
There at that time. Also in Russia is fascinating, and East Europe, there's like people of explorers who explore subs, like subterranean areas, and they go inside these subterranean areas and they find these like arches and constructions you see there inside, which were built by man or something, or like a human hand, and there's tremendous amount of meat there.
They're built by hand or something.
They were built by human hand or something, or by human.
What?
So like man-made?
Oh, perhaps.
Giants did it.
No.
They're not giants.
How could giants build something that small?
They just
Maybe
stuck
they
their
had
finger in it.
microscopes.
Tweezers.
Tweezers.
Oh, it's the same as model making. You know how you build the boat in the bottle.
Well, a ship in a bottle.
Yeah, the ship in the bottle and all that shit.
I said ship, not shit.
Oh, sorry.
If you shit in a bottle, you've got problems.
I could name a few people that are pissing in bottles at the moment and selling it for a lot of money. So don't knock it until you try it.
Oh, like what's her name in her bathwater?
Exactly. No.
What's the name in her bath? What is that?
She doesn't just sell her bath water. She
her
sells
midge water.
She sells everything.
Oh, who? What?
And I think it's $10,000 for a bottle of her pee.
Who? The Queen?
Pee, not poo.
Oh, come on, Baller, you know her name.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
What makes her pee so special? I'm intrigued.
It slips my mind at the minute.
Has it got magical healing powers, or is
she's a
is
gamer
this some
girl.
kinky thing?
She's a gamer girl that.
Where is he?
Oh, someone's going to say it in the chat. Someone watch a chat. They'll say it in there soon.
There he is. Now, where is she? Where is she?
She's over there.
No, we don't have enough viewing. We don't have enough crowdsourcing.
All right, so Instagram gamer girl sells her bathwater to thirsty social media. I'd say that would be the one. Bella Delphine.
That's the one.
There you
That's
go.
her.
Please tell me what's special about her.
She's got lots of people following her.
Okay, this is a girl that
Oh, we can't do this in the middle of in another thing. That's not fair.
No, but Delphine is a YouTuber that puts icky things on herself while she is scantily clad, such as raw eggs, octopus, what's some other crap she's put on? Oh, her own urine.
Yeah, so this is a kink thing.
Okay, she has lots and lots and lots of subscribers. Okay, she was selling her own bath water.
After having octopus and or eggs or whatever on her, she would wash herself.
And then bottle it and sell it.
So, hang on, what I can do.
Yeah, I'm Googling it now. This is funny. No, her bathwater doesn't have herpes in it. One article says.
No,
that's not what I'm worried about.
You have to pay extra for that.
Oh, no.
Quaze is not impressed. He wants to go back to the Giants.
Who brought up shit in a bottle?
How old is she? She looks really young.
Oh, she's only...
Yeah, she's 20-something.
But she's making lots of money.
Oh, yeah, she makes like 100K a month.
So she's got...
I saw my bathwater for 100K too.
Just some information here. So as well as selling her bathwater, Delphine also makes money from selling posters and mouse mats featuring an anime-style drawings of herself. Delphine has also...
Oh, you want to know the rub?
Hang on. Delphine also has over 3,000 Patreons on a funding site. Patreon users can offer as little as $1 a month. That's still $3,000 a month she's getting for nothing.
Yeah. Guess what she does? Can I say it?
Go on, say it.
Okay, she does Pornhub.
Yeah, she does.
And guess what she does?
But she's really clever on it.
She doesn't do any porn.
No,
she covers herself in octopuses.
No. Okay. So on Pornhub, she turns around to all of her followers and goes, "Do you want to see me play with my pussy? Here's Here's a link. They have to pay for it, and it'll be her playing with her cat." So
much stupid.
So every single one of her X-rated porn things are along those lines.
It's quite smart. That's a good way to make money.
So,
should be a law against that.
Like making money.
I'd rather she does that than does an Orphan Red and promotes Flat Earth.
Okay, so for a $7 a month user, cute and sometimes weird selfies, as well as behind-the-scenes access to photo shoots. There is also an X-rated offering for customers to get lewd HD photo sets, and her personal Snapchat, which she describes herself as the naughtiest social media account.
But she's not.
Oh, she's not. There's lots of porn stars on social media.
The most
actually
expensive,
do X-rated.
The most expensive option is around $3,580 a month. That's American. But the rewards of subscribing to this are not specified on the site.
Oh, she's smart. She's very smart.
And I bet you it's the same as the $7 reward too.
Her Instagram feed are filled with raunchy photos and clips, including snaps of Delphine topless and posing in lacy lycra. So,
but she hasn't actually got the greatest set of tits in the world, believe it or not.
Well,
have you seen them?
Hang on.
That's subjective.
Hang on. Yeah, no, I agree. No, you're
Everyone
right.
has a different opinion.
Look, I'm looking at them right now. They're not that good.
Hang on, check
hang
it
on.
out now.
Hang on,
How
I'll
did
share.
she get access to these pictures if she got to pay for them?
Because once it's on the net, anyone can get it with the right typing.
And you got to have those 13 tabs open.
No, I had to close 2 because I was running out of RAM.
Also because you were looking for lumps and not flat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, there's a video here of her in the bath.
Oh, apparently the P was a hoax from what I'm reading.
Can someone PM Crash a link?
Yes, boss. Where's he hiding?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Crash wants a link.
Yeah, but only because he made an accusation.
Who made an accusation?
Crash did.
Well,
not
he wants to come in here.
No, you have to scroll up.
I've posted the link to his Discord DMs.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, well, no, he said something else too. And now I fully support the flat paper disc Earth where you Aussies are no longer upside down. Okay.
Okay, Crash, you've got to get in here and talk about your gravy biscuits.
Yeah, but he says, but I do still support that you don't have real bacon. So.
Does he come from Canada?
Yeah, I reckon he comes.
No,
he doesn't come from Canada.
No, he's American.
Well, Canada's the only place that's got better bacon than us.
American.
Oh, I don't know. Danish bacon is absolutely gorgeous. Or some of the classic British breeds.
How much does Terry sell his parts for? Parts or pants? Oh, pants? Is it pants or parts? I can't.
It's pants.
Well, am I selling pants? What?
Well, there might be a niche for your pants on social media.
No, I'm not selling me pants.
Your resistance is futile.
Spooky wants your pants.
Resistance is futile. You must comply.
No. No, that was me. That wasn't the soundboard.
Now.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
But I hate hitting the wrong keys.
Quasar, how do you feel about that?
What? Sorry?
Too many buttons. I need better buttons for the soundboard.
Dave, sorry, I can't do that.
I'm sorry, Dave.
I'm sorry, Dave. I now have to open the airlock.
Oh dear. Weren't we watching a mud flutter video?
Is he coming in or?
Sidetracked? I don't know.
We should do Captain Kremen because he fights the mudmen.
Does he? Okay.
Oh. Chicken Man.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere. we used to have Sammy. We used to have a Sammy Sparrow when I was growing up. I don't know what he was though. I just remember Sammy Sparrow. Okay, crickets for that one. I'll press play for a minute.
Lead balloon.
Yeah. Okay.
Down. So this is underneath the current level of Russia, right? So which means that somebody built this in what time, for what reason, with what resources, which means that everything we know is a lie regarding history, recent history, not so recent history, and everything besides that. Also, when you say about all these megalithic monuments in the world, how were the ancients capable of building these monuments where they would, put stones together with no cement and no, like, how did they get that technology and knowledge? Well, because these were not built by primitive people who were just working stone and bronze and copper. They were built by, like, the pyramids in Egypt. They were built by someone else, someone who ruled here.
course. Okay.
They'll build by
Crash
somebody
has
else.
just joined us, but how is it he's gone from itty bitty tiny bricks to really big bricks?
Yeah.
Because it's all fake and it can't be unexplained, so therefore, giants.
But the
And
thing is,
everything's fake, so
they-
yeah.
they use no cement to make the pyramids, so he just debunked his own claim.
Yeah. If everything's a lie.
Everything's a lie, you know. You can imagine where your imagination goes if you think that.
Then he's lying himself.
It'd be fun, wouldn't it?
But did you hear what he said? How did they do all this brickwork and masonry work with no cement? And then he shows buildings that were built with no cement.
No, but these are really, really, really big rocks.
It's fucking magic.
Really big ones.
I think he's using it as an example of it's been built without cement, so it must have been built by aliens or something else.
Yeah, but what's the
Giants.
building it? What's the cement part got to do with it? We were talking about bricks a minute ago. That's using bricks and mortar, but these aren't. These are stone laid together, flat surfaced together. So I can't see what the cementing part's got to do with the two pictures.
Oh, it's worst segue ever.
Mic check.
Hello, Crash.
Hi, Crash.
Mike, check.
Hello, Crash.
Check, Mike.
What's going on?
Hi, Crash.
Well,
what's going on? If we don't know, I was hoping somebody else could tell us.
we have a mud flooder.
Don't be proud of it.
Yeah, check
He's
your
my
bait.
pet, and I'm gonna pat him softly.
Call him George.
Oh, we need that. We definitely need that one.
Hey, Terry, you got to come over here and join me for some of this real bacon sometime.
Oh, I wish I could. That'd be good if I could. We must have fake pigs over here.
Yeah, we've got our faking,
Exactly.
even though we have the best pigs.
Yeah. No, I saw you guys going live. I figured I'd jump in for a minute before I take off for the day.
Okay.
But you can't have meats like everybody else that runs Hangouts.
No, sorry. Don't know. I like to use this one.
First time using it. I just downloaded it. It actually works pretty nice on the phone.
Yes.
It's a lot more stable than some of the others.
What's this? Is this a free service, Terry, or what's it run you a month to live stream from here?
I've paid for an annual subscription.
Okay. You know, since they took away our free Hangouts, I'm still trying to figure out which way I'm going.
Yeah, you got to pay for it. That's the only option you got left now. There's no free.
Okay.
There's no free ones.
Zoom, you don't have to have a URL.
Gotcha.
That's the simple gist of it. And you can use it on any device.
Yeah, phone, PC, whatever.
And for those that have got limited bandwidth, it's very stable.
It's the most stable app I've used on this cheap-ass cell phone so far.
Oh, well, that's good then. You're
Yeah.
coming
Well,
through loud
Alan-
and clear here.
Alan had really bad. He had really bad bandwidth for ages, and it was the first one that we could get him on without breaking up or having any distortion or anything.
Yeah, he was getting sick of repeating himself all the time.
I had a really nice brand new S10e Plus, but it kind of went sliding down the highway the other day. So,
Oh no!
Ouch!
yeah, so they gave me this cheap. What is this thing? Alcatel while they're repairing my phone. I hate this thing.
Well, they're only meant to make phone calls.
Well, Yeah, I was kind of hot. I was kind of hot rodding the new bike, and apparently I didn't have my phone secured to ride a wheelie on a Harley. So,
Oh, okay. They didn't. Yeah, they got to put that disclaimer with those phones. When chucking a wheelie, make sure your phone is secured. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I didn't think the Sportster would do it. So,
Crash, did you hear what happened to Jared from 82 Productions yesterday?
did he get struck too?
No, he went for a little ride on his Ducati.
Oh,
92 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour limit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to get a little more than a slap on the wrist, but he'll be all right.
Would they take his bike for that?
The police let him go and just sent him to traffic court.
Yeah, it depends on your state, and it depends on your state and what you were doing. If you were just speeding, then usually they'll let you keep your shit as long as you have your insurance and a license.
So it just you get points and pay a fine. Yeah.
So if we're doing 16 miles an hour over the speed limit here, we'd lose the vehicle.
Oh, not you got to be doing something really stupid. Like the last time I had a vehicle impounded was because it had no VIN numbers, license plates, or anything else on it.
With our Hoon law, we've got this lovely law that was introduced called the Hoon law. And if you're acting like a Hoon, in the very loose definition of that, they can just take your vehicle.
Oh, that's
driving down the road. That's driving down the road in convoy with a friend, isn't it?
Nah, not quite that bad, but it's
Well, it's usually the burnouts. It's usually the burnouts and everything they usually do, and that's what
burnouts, speeding up, anything. I think it's anything over 10 kilometres an hour over the posted speed limit. They can if they want to.
My state just passed a lovely no chase law for motorcycles. So,
oh, okay.
If I'm 20 mile an hour over the speed limit by myself, they can't engage in a pursuit. If I'm 15 over the speed limit with a passenger, they cannot engage in a pursuit.
Yeah, it's too dangerous. Yeah.
Well, they got the bike past me. He was doing over 150 k's, and a marked cop car was behind him. And about 10 k's down the track, they had him pulled over. And I spent about an hour shopping and came back the other way, and they were loading his bike onto a tow truck, and his girlfriend was picking him up.
Yeah, you have to try to get your shit impounded here, or get caught street racing. Street racing is huge here.
Well, I don't think the bike knew the cop was behind him because he was flying, or that he was trying to get away from him, but they got him. But
if they cannot engage in a pursuit if I'm more than 20 mile an hour over the speed limit. They can meet me at my house if they got my plates, but they can't chase me.
Well, they passed me as if I was standing still. So I was doing about 80 k's.
When they passed that law, a bunch of us went out on the interstate and were antagonizing cops like idiots.
as any person should.
Oh, yeah. You can't chase me. You're going to sit in your little hiding spot on the interstate. Watch this shit. Get a description of that black bike that's doing 160.
It was black and silver. Its wheels were black and going around.
Yeah, and the rider was wearing a blacked out helmet with black leathers.
Last seen going fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jared was quite lucky because the minute he saw the flashing lights in his mirror, he pulled over because the cop almost thought he was going to flee.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10. See, the state I live in, most of our cops ride Harley, so you had to be doing something incredibly stupid to get stopped. These guys ride harder than I do when they're off duty.
Yeah.
I was going to work, and I saw a street glide roll up behind me, and it was a bike I knew. I was running 80, and he went by me on a 2-lane like I was sitting still. Caught up with him when we got to the next city at a stoplight. Looked over, and he was wearing his sheriff's uniform on his way to work, running easy 140, 150 mile an hour down the highway.
Yeah, I mean, guy who taught me the most about riding a bike was actually the chief instructor and examiner for our local constabulary for the bike section, as well as being the national lead for the Institute of Advanced Motorists as their chief motorcycle examiner as well. And he could ride his Kawasaki GTR 1000, and I've seen people trying to wringing out fire blades trying to keep up with him.
Oh, I made some kids on a
back rolling along at
let's see, I get this to work.
Impressive speed.
Let's see. Trying to figure out how to. Oops. I was trying to figure out how to do video. There we go.
Yeah, you're up.
Let me get out of the truck. Show you my new little street sleeper. There you go. Can you guys see that?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little baby Harley, but now it's got a 1340cc stroker engine in it that dynoed out about 120 horse the other night.
Oh, God.
Yep. We kept the 883 badges and everything on it. Everybody thinks it's just a little bike. What'd I do? So yeah, it's fun. It's getting to where I want it. It'll get painted over the winter.
Oh, back to the video for a minute.
Yes, back to the stupid. It's not in the live feed, buddy.
It's coming. Should be by now.
There it is.
All right, there we go.
Beforehand, and pretty much we can only speculate stuff. Nothing to do with these ancient alien things. Although ancient aliens, they do say some interesting things, but there's lots of lie with combination with truths. And also the ancient buildings, what we call the miracles of the ancient humanity. It's not because ancient humanity was so miraculous. It was because they were there. They were constructed by other humanities, other people. We are just like, we just came and we saw them and we're like, wow, and that's it. So yeah, and then you see all the historic pictures in black and white where you can actually see all over the world, in the States, in Canada, in Russia, in Australia, in Europe, in America, in Central and South America. We see these things that something happened worldwide. And this is also interlinked with what we know as the a globe flat hollow earth theory. You know, like people they go like with football teams, either you're a globe earther or a flat earther or a hollow earther. It's like, man, open your eyes and just investigate research for yourself, and you'll see how you're going to have short circuits in your brain, which are
so you're going to barrack the football team now, are we?
Did this guy really just jump from being a mud flooder to a hollow earther?
Yeah, I don't know how he threw that in there somewhere.
In 2.3 seconds.
Right?
We were talking about bricks to start with.
My question is, why is he showing ancient buildings and then throwing Australia in the mix? We've only been around for like 230 years.
Yeah, we haven't been
Oh, well,
around.
Demonic can watch his fake history of Australia hour-and-a-half video.
Well, some of you guys have a skewed concept of time and bacon anyway, so...
Oh, that's right, because we work in kilometres, not these stupid miles and inches. America, the most advanced country in the world, still uses an outdated imperial method to measure shit.
Yeah, what's with fractions?
Hell yeah, that's why that's how Snap-on Tools makes all their goddamn money, because I got to have a standard and a metric set.
Don't worry, I work on the old Holden with an imperial set.
And then the English had to bring out the frickin' Whitworth, didn't they?
What's wrong with
Whitworth? Metric, Whitworth, and AF.
Yes, I've got that too. Yeah, this is a toolkit.
Yep, it's called a shifter.
Don't work on Harleys, Terry. You just roll your entire toolbox over because this thing's got standard, metric, fucking Allen's, cap heads, torque spits, everything on it.
Oh dear.
Oh, you should try working on my car. Fuck.
I used to do all that shit.
The best thing about Harley is half the tools you have to make yourself.
Pretty much. I have an entire set of specialty 9/16 wrenches just for doing the heads on a shovel head.
Yeah. Where you've welded a socket onto a spanner onto another spanner so that it reaches at the right angle to get around everything.
Nope, I ran into an old graybeard that had a bunch of drawings of different bent wrenches and said, you need these if you don't want to pull that engine from that bike to do that gasket. Awesome. So,
okay, from 1997 until 2006, the Australian Motor Company, known as Holden, decided to make a large car that fit a V6 motor and throw a fucking V8 in it.
Hmm?
Okay, so you squeeze an extra 2 cylinders into a spot that only had 6.
No, that's nothing. You should squeeze a V8 into something that originally came from with a 4-cylinder like a Vega or a Chevette.
We did that with a Tirana.
Yeah, I got a Tirana with
Well,
that.
that's exactly what a Chevette is.
Yeah, but a Tirana's got a big front on it. They were designed for a V8 in the first place.
No, they weren't. They were designed for an inline 6.
The Chevette is exactly the same as the Tirana, just so that you know. They're the same, just the American version and the Australian version.
Yeah.
So where we had the old LX Tirana with the 4-banger, they had a similar Chevette, but they put a V8 in it.
No, it didn't come from the factory with the V8. A lot of us use them for drag racing because they're so lightweight. So we'll cut the entire firewall out and
put a V8.
We had the LX Tirana SS with the 308 in it.
Yeah, I might put a 308 in mine.
Like our Chevettes were little front-wheel drive Cracker Jack boxes.
We still believe in rear-wheel drive. Well, we did.
Yeah, well, it's a dying art form. We convert a lot of stuff over now.
Yeah, we don't even make our country's cars in our country anymore.
Well, I'm getting ready to, let's see, March of 2020, 2 of my engines are going to Australia, so shall be fun. I will let Terry know where he can go see them do their thing.
There you are. There's a set of spanners for you.
That looks like a good way to strip a bunch of different sized bolts.
Yeah, and you can do 2 at a time.
Right?
Metric and Imperial and AF.
AF shifter. Damn
And even some other
We got it. Go ahead.
I tell you what, the guy who invented torque spit's an absolute asshole.
No shit.
Oh, they're a good tool.
No, but you look at some of them and you think, oh, that's right, that's an Allen key. That might be a 5mm.
No, it's not.
Then you take a closer inspection, you go, you've got notches, you bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst ones are that do you guys have the safety torque spits over there that have the stupid little pin in the center of them?
Yeah, the smaller ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
The trick with that is to center punch it and drill it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you try to use the hollow torque spit, you're going to break the fucking torque spit.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got some good King Chrome ones, and I haven't broke them yet.
So I got a really good set of drills that was set up in reverse. So you put them in your drill, and then reverse becomes normal drill.
Yeah.
Which means every single bolt, nut, screw, you can just drill out.
Yeah, the Chinese drill bits.
Yep.
That's what they call them.
Yeah, they're fucking awesome. They're the absolute best.
Well, do you break a lot of bolts, do you?
Nah, but when you're dealing with idiots that put stainless steel nuts onto stainless steel bolts and then they bind up because they don't put any anti-seize or anything in between.
It's also good for saving threads.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a fun one in the shop right now. This lovely idiot decided to put stainless steel head studs in an all aluminum motor.
Ooh, yuck.
Does he know about expansion rates of different types of steel?
Apparently not, because it's here now.
Oh dear.
I'll post pictures
Aluminium.
on my Discord when we manage to get it apart.
Aluminium, or aluminum as you call it, expands to 1.5 times its size when it gets hot.
Yeah.
Stainless steel will shrink.
It's the worst thing about it is stainless steel has this horrible situation where it binds up. When it binds up, it actually becomes harder.
As I say, stainless steel has a bad issue of when you get it good and hot, it doesn't just stretch or let a gasket fail. It just shatters.
Yeah. It becomes very brittle.
That's also because people buy stainless steel bolts from the hardware store and not from the auto shop.
It's not just that, but they don't know the difference between 3/16 and say, 3/16 stainless steel and or 307 or any of the other versions of stainless steel and or what they're used for.
Yep.
The best one's when they go to the hardware store and they get them pretty shiny chrome bolts here that have no strength rating to them whatsoever, and wonder why they all broke off the first time they stood on the throttle.
I like those bolts that come from that manufacturer called Cat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
yes.
All of the bolt heads are twice as big as normal. So no matter what size socket or anything like that you've got, they just grab. There's plenty of meat there, and they're good and tough, good and tough bolts. It's
back when I did my apprenticeship. What they stated was that a bolt head should be at least 50% wider than the actual thread. Now, a lot of bolts don't do that.
No.
They work on about 25%. And that's how you get snappage.
It also depends on the application for it and the load you're putting on that fastener.
Yeah, and guess what the backyard mechanic does? How tight can I get this bastard?
It's 3 elbow clicks and then back a turn.
Yeah.
I like how you see it's got L on the thread. And they're doing it the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Jumping on getting a fulcrum and making the arm longer and then jumping on it.
Oh, we've done.
Go left.
Left-hand thread, yeah.
Oh, it's like teaching people about an acetylene bottle. You have to turn it the other way to open it.
No, we get all kinds of crazy shit going on through the shop right now. But yeah, 2 of my big diesels are heading over to Australia in March of next year.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember you saying something about that, yeah.
We got the shipping dates confirmed. There are 2 spare engines going with the tractor, so I don't know where he's going yet over there, but he's already got a truck rented when he gets it to the port.
Oh, is he coming for the tractor pull?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I don't know, where's it held at over here?
There's one in Sydney, and I don't know if they're doing it in Melbourne this year, so it might be Queensland.
If the one in Sydney happens, I might be able to go.
Well, don't they do one at Pondy?
You won't be able to miss it. It's over getting painted right now with a big pinup girl on the side, and it's called Midnight Mistress, so... It makes plenty of power. I'm just hoping he can get his hands on good diesel over there because they won't allow us to ship our own fuel.
Nah, we've got good diesel here.
Well, I can't go over there and tune it for him, so I'm trying to dial it in.
We've got the only difference, or the major difference between our diesel and yours is ours is lower in sulfur.
Well, that doesn't really affect anything.
Yeah, just
burns cleaner.
Burns cleaner, and it doesn't stink.
Well, it's still going to throw smoke. And
yes.
It's still going to throw smoke and a large orange and blue flame out the pipe. So
nice. Hey, I've got an idea.
Yes.
Let's get back to this idiot.
I'm going to cause positive aspect thinking for you if you dare to actually try think. And then let's speak about the real pictures here. These pictures, which I do believe they are not just artistic interpretation, I do believe they're actually pictures, or at least the artist was inspired by something that existed.
Is it a picture or an image?
That's a very good question. All right, guys, you have fun. I got to wake the old lady up because we got to go play with toy trucks and make money today.
All right, Crash. Take it easy, buddy.
You have all the fun.
You guys
do.
do.
Later, Crash.
Bye, Crash.
Thanks for dropping
See you,
by.
Crash.
That is obviously a painting.
Okay, so the writing there looks Russian, correct?
Yes.
Looks Russian.
Well, it's Cyrillic at least.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, as Dell would
That
say,
looks like an Indian temple mixed with an Arabian monolith.
Yeah, but it could be any of that. So, early Soviet Union type states had very similar synagogues to stuff like that, though.
They were more the curvy, pitchy. They didn't have that pointed architecture as such in that way. Also, he has no translation for what is written on this obvious artist rendition of a fabled town.
So you think he just Googled an image and then that's it?
He's a mud flutter. Of course he Googled it.
Okay.
He just put it there as he was seeing it. Check out these Attack on Titan looking cities with walls, gigantic, very good structure, with towers over pyramids, just like in America or rest of the world that were using the energy. So who built this?
Using what energy? We're going back to the energy, the pyramid energy.
But he
skipped over
said
that.
Attack on Titan, so he's talking about an anime. He's in Fantasyland.
He just skipped straight over the energy from pyramid stuff.
Oh, it was incidental.
Things, no, and for what reason? Here you see a humanity which just enjoys themselves, and then you see a big huge pyramid with swans or whatever you want to call them in the background, and a tower with a human-sized head, but with gigantic head, and people were just like living.
Where's the human head?
On the left.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on the left, but the llamas, they look a bit wonky.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the llamas.
Have they been eating that off fruit, have they?
Also, the monoliths in the back, how come none of the architecture in front of it looks the same?
Because artists don't paint very well all the time. I mean, look at how badly painted the llama is on the left.
Looks like it's crossed with a sheep.
Oh, it's a llama.
There's like combinations of paintings on photographs.
Yes.
Oh, the clouds look fake then.
Yeah,
So the bits with the people in look like a photograph, but all the other stuff is obviously painted on.
Yeah, it looks like Isaac Asimov type pictures. You know, with those inserted sci-fi parts.
Yeah.
And if they're people in the middle, which I can't see, are they people in the middle part?
Yeah, I think.
Well,
Yeah, I think they are, and they were photographed, and that's a photograph because
Well, how tall's that?
And then painting on it.
Yeah, what my point being is if they're people in the middle, and these are llamas at the front, even that llama there is at least 6-7 foot tall, the small one.
And the people are taller than the llama.
Yeah, but that llama's nearly 15 foot tall, the other bigger one.
Yeah, well,
Giant
like I said, artists aren't necessarily very brilliant, are they?
Yeah, it's perspective.
Yeah, and it's not very. And whoever painted that is
living normally.
Apparently not perspective.
Like that.
Anyway,
So,
let's see what idiot says.
but obviously, this shows some type of humanity that we totally don't understand. Utopic world, maybe. Here, when I saw this picture, sure, people might say, well, this is Photoshop and stuff. Or I don't know. But
What? It's Photoshop?
No.
How did they do Photoshop in those old photos?
Flying pyramids.
Which model, which version of Photoshop did they have back then?
It's called artist renditions.
It was called a dark room and some. It was called darkroom paint and ink.
Yeah, no, mate, you're just plucking at straws now. And you got the fucking short one.
They look like massive Daleks.
At least they did remember to paint a shadow underneath the closest of the hovering.
Yeah, I see. I was just watching to see if looking to see if the shadow's actually on the same alignment as all the other shadows.
So he's found some pictures of old Russian science fiction, basically.
Yes.
And using it as truth.
Somebody needs to type in those Russian words into the translator and see what they actually say. I can't do it while I'm doing this.
Bit tricky when you haven't got a Cyrillic keyboard.
No, you can go
you
can go into Google Translate and you can tell it you want Russian, and then you type in the same characters in there, and then you retranslate.
It's even easier, Terry. I'll just give you a moment.
Terry. Okay.
The secretary is onto it.
The secretary's onto it. Okay.
Into.
Can you grab that file out of the bottom of the filing cabinet over there for me?
That's my ass you're touching.
Arg.
Into Russian. You sure it's Russian?
It's close to it.
Russian to English. Here we go. Let's see what it has to say.
Oh, hello, Rosie. Oh, there's part 2 or 3 of BM Furball's premiere on.
Okay, so it says... Oh, geez, it keeps changing. It's trying to find a dialect of Russian that it's in, I think. Okay, so the word on the right that starts with the letter B.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is Vilma, Vimana.
Yep.
The one
What
on the
about
left.
Omka?
Omka, where's that?
Okay, so the three words on the left.
The ones on the left. It says Private Oscar. Privat, so Privat.
That's Privat.
It's all right, just from OMCKA.
Yep.
So it's the same, but down the bottom. RAPPS HPITESCI.
A.
So it's some Russian word that probably means a place name or some crap. But it didn't like doing it much because it's a picture of a picture on a video on a screen.
No, you've done pretty good. You've done good.
But it gave us no clue to what we're looking at.
You might get a pay rise in your next check.
I'll get a rise, all right. Won't be money though.
Well, you see people just having their normal activity, and then you see these flying Vimanas like you see in India, because the Indians, they know a lot about these things, and like flying spaceships, whatever you want to call them, with the pyramids in the background, with the giant heads, and with these antennas, which I believe they use free energy, because that system had free energy for everybody, and then humanity were still using these carriages with horses. So yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, right? What is actually going on, and what's the real history? Here again, you see the pyramid and the towers in spiral shape with head, and you see this, you would say primitive technology, but if you have free energy, you don't need cars and oil and the technology we have today, which is very primitive compared to free energy. So, and also you see the mud on the ground. It's probably because there was something happening. Maybe this was like post mud flood or something, or quite recently. Here you can actually see how they're actually cleaning.
What? How can it be recent if the photo's old?
What?
That's what he said. He said, or recently, but the photo's a photo of something that was old. So how can it be recent?
What about his reasoning for why they didn't need cars? Because there's free energy, so they don't need them. So we'll use horse and cart instead.
Oh.
Right.
That's an elephant, though.
And they got free
Yeah,
energy.
the last one was a horse, wasn't it?
Okay, what part of free energy is he getting at? Is it that they didn't have to pay for electricity, or anything like that?
No,
Or is
it'd be a lot more woo than that.
Okay, so he's talking about perpetual energy.
Yeah, some alien
Which is
technology or whatever.
Impossible.
I thought it was the Tesla. Well, they extend Tesla's theories to say that you can just pull electricity out of the air. In fact, out of the ether.
I know what
He was.
Alan?
He was.
Alan?
Alan, I
No.
know.
Bad man.
I know what he's
Bad
pulling. I know what
man.
he's pulling out, and I know where it's coming from.
He was talking about Ross's free energy.
Yes, I know Tesla.
No. He pulls that out of somewhere completely different.
That's what I was getting at.
I've heard the Tesla free energy from air thing.
I would say that
Maybe
And-
from the ether.
What you would
From the
say
ether.
mud flood. After the mud flood.
Sorry.
But it was the free energy from air thing. You can call it the ether if you like, but I won't hold you to it.
No, I know. It's what they say. It's what the idiots say, isn't it? It's that because Tesla was fine, because Tesla just said if I make a big big EM field, you can pull some electricity out of it. And that's fine. That works. I mean,
works.
how do you think we've got wireless charging?
Crystal radio. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But that's not free energy. That's turning radio waves into energy, which is the movement of particles in air.
Yeah. I know that, and you know that. But the retards push it further and believe that you can just pull the energy out. That's why I say they pull it out of the aether, because that's where they think it bloody well comes from. We all know better because we're not woo merchants.
So, as a young lad, when I used to listen to shortwave radio, I used to have a very simple crystal radio setup hooked up to a voltage meter, so that I knew when to disconnect the antenna from the radio. So when a storm was coming, the voltmeter would go up. Yeah, and it would peak, and it would get to a point where you'd be going, I might disconnect that antenna now because if there's a lightning strike, it's going to do some damage. It will just kill the radio, realistically. It'll kill the front end of the radio. And you just avoid that by disconnecting the antenna. So, yes, you can pull energy out of the air without paying for it and all of that all that poop. But, realistically, it wouldn't be enough to charge a battery.
Yeah, and
it's
also
not reliable.
Baller. You know the reason why you were able to pick up that voltage change? You know the exact reason?
Because of the potential difference between the clouds and the ground. That I had a copper pipe deep in the ground that I was plugged into, and that would give me a potential difference.
No, there was also the excitement of the ions in the air, and what was happening is that there was a differential change in those that was increasing the voltage in the air, which is how lightning strikes work. Because you know lightning strikes in both directions, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly it comes from the sky, goes to the ground, because that's what grounding is. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Somebody's listening to something in the background.
It wasn't me.
Hope it's not Pornhub.
I didn't make that technical difficulty that time.
And sometimes the electricity can go from ground to the sky. But that's all depending on which way the ions are charged in the atmosphere. So what happens with your radio, as you would know how radio waves propagate and all that stuff through up to the ionosphere and bounce back down. It's a similar thing to how your voltmeter would have picked up the charge from the ions. They would have sent out a little electrical signal in a pulse. And as they increase, your voltmeter would increase its reading. And that's how you would know, oh, it's time to turn it off and not kill my equipment. But the problem is they don't know exactly how low and high pressure systems actually change the wave format of the ions in the atmosphere. They still haven't worked it out at that microscopic level. And if they did, you know what they'd be able to do with that? They'd be able to bring up this guy's free energy.
Yeah, it still won't work though. Like I said before, realistically, for anything along those lines to work, now it needs to be there semi-regularly. So we're talking the sun is there, half the day.
No, it's not. It's always there.
The sun's shining on our part of the earth half the day. Does that sound better?
That sounds better.
The problem with anything along the lines of trying to use radio waves or static charges to try and charge batteries and stuff like that, it's random. You know, it's not there all the time, therefore it's unreliable. Using a radio station to charge a battery, and yeah, I've done that, but realistically, it's not viable. You know, they're pumping out a couple of kilowatts so that I get a couple of microwatts. You know, the losses are just ridiculous.
I mean, it's the same problem with the radar. I mean, one of the reasons we pumped out, or could pump out, 60 megawatts into a 6 degree by 1 degree beam is so that you can get, because you're dealing with microwatts when they come back, because you know, not everything's going to reflect back nicely to you.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
More stupid.
But you have the pyramid, you have that style of building with that face, which reminds me of the ancient Dacians and Thracians in Europe, which were spread all across. And you have this elephant pulling what you would say like it's an UFO-shaped type of flying saucer made of stone. And these giant...
What? Flying saucer made of stone? It's made of stone.
Yeah, and how small were the aliens?
Really
that made
small.
these massive structures.
Oh, that's when Alf.
They're the midget aliens.
That's when Alf came down. He crashed.
Gigantic spheres, which is absolute supreme engineering, which are those you see in Costa Rica. By the way, Costa Rica and Russia are very far apart, so it's just
no shit, Sherlock.
You know, it brings you to an idea of what you can actually understand after you open your eyes and you investigate this a bit more with an open mind, not just so in this primitive way of thinking. And then you have these here. I mean, this is a real picture.
What? You got to have an open mind, but not in a primitive way of thinking. But the primitive way of thinking is where this type of thinking comes from.
Actually, of what they find, you know, loose in the mountains, these flying saucer-shaped things, so you can, you know, make a comparison between the picture and the artist photo, or even the real photo. And then
I think size is a bit different, isn't it? Unless that's a really small elephant.
Both things are round. That means they're related.
Oh, okay. Size doesn't matter.
But one's bigger than an elephant, and the other one's not bigger than a bloody man.
Oh, he's the giant. He might be one of the giant's ancestors.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
this one is really
a shield.
He's found some pretty cool pictures. I'll give him that.
You're not still translating, are you, Baller?
This is obviously Russian science fiction illustrations.
Yes.
And it looks like they've been printed on postcards.
Yeah, they look like a postcard type thing. You can see the edge. You can see the edges of it.
He probably bought one each week to build up the set to go with some book or magazine. Because then they wouldn't have had to print the magazine in colour.
And in that one there, you can definitely see they've been added those images into there, because they're identical. The one's on up the top, the one's down the bottom.
All the writing, the words on them are the same too, Terry.
Yeah.
So that's I'd say they are a set of whatever they are.
Okay.
Yeah, those 3 words up the top.
Okay. Well, the words at the bottom are changing.
And the word at the right.
Yeah, all of the words on each of the cards are the same so far.
Oh, okay.
Astonishing. In one word, instead of saying train station, try saying free energy sphere station for people to actually use.
Try saying free energy sphere station. There you go.
These, what you would say,
tongue twister.
Yeah.
A public transport based on spheres on a monorail with electromagnetic energy. You can see there's UFOs in the background.
What? Electromagnetic? That's
not free energy. That's using electricity.
Yeah, but that's what he's implying. The free energy is a type of electricity.
No. But to generate the electricity to make electromagnetism, it's not free. You have to create work to create the magnetism. So it's technically not free. You have to pay a price to create the magnetism.
No, I didn't read the fine print, sorry.
Spherical UFOs that have some kind of light which are floating, and you see there are street lights. Street lights as we have today, which means that technology was supreme. There was free energy, there was electricity, there was everything, and people were just like living like that there all the time. It's just, I wonder if the actual 4.3 million mile square Tartarian Empire was like this, and there was some kind of like conflict between them and the rest of humanity. I don't know. It's just amazing what you can find. And the last picture would be this one, where you can actually see the whole thing with free energy and pyramids and these dome shaped with antenna buildings on water, maybe using the.
Fiji's made it in.
I was just going to say that person looks very familiar.
Yeah, he's just got the wrong
With a
hat.
Mickey Mouse headset.
Yeah, I was going to say. And he's holding a flat Earth map.
He's not,
Oh,
is he?
Shit.
I can't see that small.
So it says on the right hand side, it says hello from OMSK.
Right. And somebody's actually written on that one, so.
It's trying really hard to translate that.
No, it's devalued.
Someone's listening to Scotty Storm.
Yeah, who's listening to that?
Oh, hang on. No, it's not Scotty Storm.
Sounded like him. Everybody's out to get me.
Well, you got to do 6 things at once.
But how is this picture showing free energy?
Oh, because it's got that tower in the background.
Yeah, I can see a tower thing, a couple of pyramids.
Doing what?
Doing stuff and things.
Yeah, stuff and things, yeah.
It just looks like
it does.
Well, you explain the Princess Leia hat that he's wearing and the great big long beard. You know, if that's not Star Wars and free energy, with the rocket in the background, I don't know what is.
What's in front of him? A book or something?
Oh, yeah, something. It won't translate that handwritten stuff for some reason. It's just too much to translate for it.
Yeah, but that's the other thing, though. Did you hear how far in the past he said this was?
ancient.
He said it was like 3.5 million years ago.
Oh, I must have missed that bit. Okay.
Human race didn't have handwriting until about 5, maybe 6,000 years ago.
I'd like to take it one step further.
About the start of creation. You know?
I'd like to take it one step further, and without sounding rude or anything like that. But if you have a look at that handwritten ink work that's there, that's obviously been written by a dipped quill style pen.
Yes.
Right, so we're not talking that long ago. Maybe 100 years ago, absolute tops. Now, for something to be printed like that, you know, it almost works.
Yeah, but how did he derive his age of the Tartarians and their free energy?
We might have to watch some other videos to find that out.
Oh, Juno.
Juno. You're making us have
Well,
to
you have to research it then.
Yeah.
You said it. It's your job.
Hey, I did a video on this guy, and that was the last time I went to his channel. So.
But you posted
he did the Notre Dame conspiracy and the Simpsons predicting the future and all this shit.
But that's true. I agree with that.
Well, the Simpsons predicted the future.
Simpsons have predicted so much future events, it must be all true.
Do you know there was some other guy a couple of centuries ago called Nostradamus who predicted some things that came true?
Like what?
Predicted a lot of things that haven't happened yet as well, though, didn't he?
That's right. And I could say something right now that might not happen for 400 years, but it'd still be a prediction.
Yeah.
And then it would be a coincidence if it happened.
Pig-faced men's fighting in the sky.
Pig-faced men?
That, I believe, is one of the Nostradamus. Well, depending on how you decode stroke translate Nostradamus, I believe one of them is, yes, pig-faced men fighting in the sky.
Oh, so that's our DNA mixed with bacon.
Oh, and the bacon again.
Oh, yeah, but I believe people take it to mean the Second World War and the oxygen stroke, the oxygen mask with the radio mic in it, which does, when you strap it to when you put a flying helmet on and strap it on the front of the flying helmet, does kind of make you look a bit pig-faced, doesn't it?
What a coincidence.
But then, there was a lot of, it wasn't long, it hadn't been that long before that, people have been wearing pig-faced bassinets on their armour. So, the idea of wearing a pig-faced bassinet and fighting in the sky is not that wildly difficult to do, is it?
No.
Free energy from water, and then you have this Orthodox priest, which he looks like Russian or Greek Orthodox, with a disc in his hand, and probably this disc is a disc of Phaistos, I guess, which is, according to official history, was discovered 2,000 years before Christ in Minoan Crete, and 1908 was the discovery, and people don't know what this actually means. It has 242 signs altogether on the disc, and they say, well, it could be a hymn or a curse or an almanac, but nobody knows, right? They don't say anything. So yeah, why is this there? And is there some relationship with ancient? We say ancient, but it's not ancient. It's more superior than we have right now. Technology and free energy and knowledge that would totally change the way we see ourselves as human beings. In any case, hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll keep on speaking about this stuff with an active energy vibe, so that we just see this not as a boring history class, but rather as something fascinating to understand more about our humanity. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Tartary, or the great Tartary.
Oh dear. If that's only a taste of this guy, what he spews.
The words I could have for this guy are just I shouldn't even say them.
Well, he makes flat earthers look a bit less nuts, doesn't he?
No. No.
Yeah, I think he does.
No, just as nuts.
He's more nuts.
No, but at least he's got pictures.
At least he produces a decent video too. He's got his green screen and he's prepared. He word salads a bit. Jumps around.
At least he's not holding his phone in the vertical position and ranting from his garage or car.
Yeah, crickets. We need crickets.
At least I hit the right key that time.
How do I, oh yeah.
They're the other crickets.
Anybody got any suggestions?
Mr.
Because I
Johnson
haven't got...
arriving.
Where are we?
Better late than never, I suppose.
Oh, shit. Who left the door open?
Welcome, John.
Yeah, I know.
John. We're a bit late tonight. It must be intermission time. It must be coffee break. We need something for coffee break. What do we got? Oh, I've got something we can watch. I'll go and make a coffee. And we can watch.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. It's time to do some primary school science.
This is going to be a surprise.
Although we do know somebody who can't do pre-primary school science.
I don't know whether you will get a kick out of it or not, but I thought it'd be something interesting. And it follows a theme. Oops, wrong set. There we go. It's not a black screen, but it's coming. I'm going to go and grab a coffee while we play this for a minute.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
The police
Oh,
charged
Terry.
her parents, and Australia stood
Terry,
divided.
what the hell?
Publicly,
We know what
all
this
over
is.
the world, we've been acclaimed as murderers and had that
I'm getting a coffee.
thrust in our face.
Next week, the film version will be released to the world. The film is a savage attack on the Australian media.
Everything I did to research the part only confirmed my initial feeling of injustice.
The Dingo's got my baby!
But the line became a joke almost as soon as the movie came out.
Hey, I think I hear a dingo eating your baby.
And what we have left then is a very outrageous line that's taken the place of a woman's story of the truth.
Terry's making a bit of a mistake.
A
playing this.
full-scale search in the Ayers
Yeah,
Rock
it
area
needs to be
today
paused.
failed to find any trace of a 9-week-old baby girl.
The
family from Mount Isa in Queensland were on a camping holiday in Central Australia. The baby's mother had earlier
Tirana.
noticed a dog at the entrance to the tent with what
Yeah,
she
talk
believed to
over
be a
it a bit,
bundle
it
in
might
its
help.
mouth. It now appears that bundle was in fact her 9-week-old
All right.
baby girl.
That moment was the moment really of greatest clarity in the history of the case.
Oh, shut up.
At that moment,
doctored your
everyone
writing
knew exactly
absolutely
what had
took the
happened to
shit
that
out of
baby.
this.
There wasn't
She
time
was
to go and
acquitted
tell
of
people. I
it.
just yelled out, has anyone got a torch? The dingo's got my baby.
Essentially.
As cases go, and I've covered a lot of them, it had everything.
And here comes the other question. How come she didn't kill her other children?
Baby.
Why would she just kill the baby?
But city folk with little understanding of the outback were having trouble with some basic elements of the story.
The fact of the matter was, nobody had ever heard of a dingo taking a baby.
People struggled to reconcile this brutal act with a wild but reportedly timid dog. And when Azaria's clothing was found a week later, almost intact, Lindy's reaction did more than raise questions.
Were you surprised Azaria's clothing was found hardly torn?
No, not really. Not having watched wild dingoes feed on cattle and things like that.
They use their feet like hands and pull back the skin as they go, and they'll just peel it like an orange.
Lindy turned the public completely against her, as though any mother could talk like that in a seemingly unfeeling way about her child. That did more damage than anything in the world.
Oh, if
Word
only
soon
there
got
were a
out that the
way.
police forensic team had found no evidence of a canine attack on the clothing, and tests for dingo saliva were showing up negative.
She unshakably said from the very beginning The reason you can't find any dingo saliva on that jumpsuit is that she was wearing the matinee jacket over it.
But with no trace of any jacket, and amidst wild rumors about their religious practices as Seventh-day Adventists, Lindy was put on the defensive.
People are saying that she was a spastic baby or a cretin. Others are saying that she was a sickly baby and that this was a good way to get rid of her.
Why do you think people have jumped to these conclusions?
Perhaps they have nothing else to do.
To stem the tide of rumor, the coroner took the decision to announce his findings on live television, instructing the nation that the Chamberlains were not responsible for their daughter's death.
Do you have any comment?
What are your plans now for the future?
Try and live normal lives.
But the coroner had publicly criticized the police forensic teams. Refusing to accept his findings, they set about seeking a second opinion.
After examining the baby's blood-stained clothing, Professor Cameron concluded the child's throat had been cut and said special ultraviolet fluorescent photography had revealed a small handprint in blood on the baby's jumpsuit.
The findings of the first inquest were overturned, and a second inquest was called. But Lindy would face more than just new evidence.
There was a lot of commentary about how attractive she was and the contradictions between what had happened and her youthful, vigorous appearance. People found difficult to process.
Second inquest took only about 10 days.
Find a handprint, but how the fuck did you know it was her handprint?
The world might find out just why Lindy Chamberlain cut the throat of her tiny daughter.
And also, why was there only one handprint found?
For the first day of their trial.
Mrs. Chamberlain on charge of murder and her husband with being an accessory after the fact.
Lindy, 7 months pregnant, wearing a pink maternity dress.
During her appearances, she showed neither anger, grief or distress as she came and went from the courthouse each day.
The prosecution would claim that instead of putting Azaria to bed in the tent, Lindy had sat in the front seat of her car and slit her baby's throat with a bladed instrument. They claimed to have positively identified fetal blood in several spots throughout the car.
The deficiencies in the Crown case: no motive, no confession, no weapon, no body, no witness, just the disappearance of a child. I was reasonably confident that we would win.
The verdict came shortly before 20 to 9. The foreman of the jury, standing, said, guilty.
When the whole nation knows that she's guilty, who wants to be a juror who thinks that this isn't proven? Nobody. The pressures are all one way.
The cheering that went on that night was just unbelievable. It's like being in a Roman gladiatorial stadium, screaming and yelling and marching up and down. You know, we got the bitch.
For Lindy Chamberlain, there would have been joy and sadness with today's birth. It's believed she was separated from the baby within an hour of the birth.
Terry!
In a majority decision, the High Court in Canberra has rejected an appeal by Mrs. Lindy Chamberlain against her conviction for the murder of her daughter Azaria.
But after Lindy spent more than 3 years in prison, a startling discovery was made at Ayers Rock.
It was there, only 200 metres from where Azaria's blood-stained clothing was discovered, that a baby's matinee jacket was found.
It was just so dramatic. In 24 hours, you've got, in effect, proof positive that Mrs. Chamberlain was telling the truth on a really significant aspect.
Lindy Chamberlain has been released from Darwin Jail, and she won't be going back. At the same time, the Northern Territory government has announced there'll be a new inquiry into the Chamberlain case.
That inquiry found that the damage to the jumpsuit was consistent with a dingo attack, and that the handprint on the jumpsuit was nothing more than red desert sand. The blood spatter on the underside of the dashboard turned out to be sound deadening compound. Other spots were most likely sweetened milk or a fruit drink.
Consequently, the Territory's administrator today signed papers officially pardoning them.
Well, it's great to be pardoned for something you haven't done. As it is, convictions stand.
Their convictions were overturned the following year, but that still didn't clear public doubts.
The battle now is to wipe away the years of hate and suspicion against the mother who cried,
"The dingo's got the baby."
And the centerpiece of this battle would be a movie released that same year.
I think the filmmakers wanted to do good. They wanted to make a political point, and they wanted to make a feminist point, that this is a woman who was a victim.
The kid was always dressed in black, and so was the bloody mother.
Well, I heard a rumour that the kid was really bloody cracked and she couldn't handle it, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but there was supposed to have been an accident before they...
I think the lesson for everybody might be that we have to look deeper into things than we necessarily do.
But Australia wasn't buying it.
People did not want their minds changed.
Did the film change opinion at all? What, do you believe she's guilty?
Yeah.
Has this changed my opinion?
And if you held them as vehemently as they were held, you sort of don't want to be proven wrong.
The film leaves Lindy on a high, out of prison and reunited with her family. But in reality, her battle was far from over.
Do you have justice yet?
Almost.
What do you need?
The Northern Territory needs to apologise, for starters, and put death by Dingo on the inquest.
After 3 inquests, a trial, 2 appeals, and a royal commission, the most the Crown would deliver was an open verdict on what
terrible choice of video.
Okay. The Crown had always said, it's Lindy or a dingo.
Well, I had to fill in the dead air with something.
Yeah, probably not the greatest choice.
Okay.
Especially from it, seeing it's from the New York Times.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find one to do with that linked through to our side of it, and I'm thinking, well, this is their take on it.
So yeah, but we shouldn't be playing it and not stopping it.
Pardon?
Well,
yeah. Well, I wanted to see if it was any different take on it for what if they're going to do an editorialize it or not. I don't know. So.
It is an editorialization of it,
yeah.
But it basically goes to the point that she was acquitted. Okay, the moment you're acquitted of a crime means you did not do it, and they found evidence to the contrary of your conviction. Yeah. Now, the moment that they found the jacket 200 meters away from the campsite proved that she was innocent. And they never found the body. Anyway, you think we can find some other stupid?
Yeah, okay, we can find other stupid. That's okay.
Yeah.
More to the point that it's happened 3 times since.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I was going to bring up as a comment.
Yeah, baby, something only happened about 6 months ago. A baby and a dingo or something.
A baby got taken by a dingo 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it does happen.
All it needs is the right conditions, e.g., the dingo to be not scared of humans enough, to be fed enough times by humans. They'll see the humans as a source of food. Then when food is short, they'll just help themselves.
Hey, Baller, can I give you a history lesson?
Oh, go on.
Dingoes have had over 50,000 years to get used to human interaction.
Yeah, well, some would say even more than that, actually.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that you might find a few stories from Aboriginal tribes that would basically back up the story that dingoes pinch babies. Because all they see is a food source. That's all they see.
Well, I think there's one really important question. Is why wouldn't they?
One of the
there's not really a good argument for why they wouldn't do that if they're hungry.
One of the interesting facts that's very, very much brushed over right back when this all happened was that the Aboriginal elders in the area said, yes, this happens. It's happened before and it will happen again. They fully supported her and what she stood for.
But guess what?
Because the Australian culture being the way it was at that particular time, the black fellas obviously drank too much.
They were second-class citizens.
Yeah.
of dinosaurs. Today's video is sponsored by Radical, the Unhallowed Knight.
Spiffy!
Why? Because he found this and was kind enough to send me this clip. As always, and before we begin, a big thank you to all my Patreons. Now, this clip is from one of JM's videos. Joshua Michael debates Sean Hawkins, how not to debate a flat earther. See, JM took upon himself to comment a video where he debates Sean Hawkins. And this is the result. So let's get started.
This is, I believe, your third time to be on this channel. So, and third time to involve yourself in this discussion.
Now, what kind of objection must JM have to stop the video?
Actually, it's not the first time I've...
What? Maybe he didn't say what I think he said. Let's turn on the subtitles and play that clip again, in its entirety.
This is, I believe, your third time to be on this channel. So, and third time to involve yourself in this discussion.
Actually, it's not the first time I've involved myself in this discussion. I've been part of the Flat Earth community and this discussion for over 4 years, my friend. Thanks.
As far as I know, but I could be wrong. You could have done this before.
Wow, such a short clip and so much to analyze. Let's start with numbers. Numbers again, JM? Really? Alright, you asked for it. So here we are again, JM. Again with the numbers. Last time you didn't know the difference between 3 and 4. I thought you'd progressed, but it's gotten worse. Now you don't know the difference between 1 and 3. What am I going to do with you? Okay, let's listen again to Team Skeptic.
This is, I believe, your third time to be on this channel. So, and third time to involve yourself in this discussion.
So, when Team Skeptic said third time as in 3 times. It's been 3 times you've been on his channel, so 3 is not 1. Instead of using penguins like we used the last time, let's try something different, something more relatable. So, this is 1 potato. As you can see, she's completely alone. She doesn't have any friends. That's why it's just 1. Let's get her a friend, okay? There. 2 potatoes. They're no longer alone. They have each other. So 1 lonely potato plus another lonely potato makes 2 happy potatoes. But wait, it can be even better. What happens if we bring in another lonely potato? Can you guess?
3 children come to the class.
Yes, JM. 3, that's right. Well, they're not children, they're potatoes, but yeah, you're right, you got it. Congratulations. And now that you understand the difference between 1 and 3, let me explain what Team Skeptic meant.
This is, I believe, your third time to be on this channel. So, and third time to involve yourself in this discussion.
Actually, it's not the first time I've involved myself in this discussion. I've been part of the Flat Earth community and this discussion for over 4 years, my friend. Thanks.
As far as I know, but I could be wrong. You could have done this before.
So this is what Team Skeptic meant. Because this was your 3rd participation in Science or Satire, this was the 3rd time you were with him on his channel. That was all he meant. As for the 3rd time discussing the issue, you jumped the gun, didn't you? Because after your intervention, you let the clip roll, and Team says, as far as I know, I may be wrong, you might have done it before. So next time you want to quote mine someone, or on a video, just delete the last part, because it doesn't look good on you, not the quote mining, and not knowing the difference between 3rd and 1st. JM, again, you have to study this, or else you'll be, like in the example, one lonely, uneducated potato. And you don't want that, do you? Now run along, you rascal. Go and have some fun. And this
such
is
a
all I have
rascal.
for you today. Please enjoy the photos of everyone who has bought my t-shirt and send me a picture so I can post it here. At the same time, I'd like to apologize everyone because I haven't released something in a while. The reason for this is because I'm preparing something special for the 700 celebration, the 700 subscriber celebration, I mean. As soon as it's finished, you'll all know, and hopefully you will like it. See you on my next video. If you like this video, don't forget to like,
bye, Mr. Dinosaurs.
subscribe.
Well, what I got out of that is just, in general, whether they watch other videos of something, whether it doesn't matter what the subject is, but they'll pick a piece of a video and then critique it without the original context of what the point being. If that's what it's boiled down to.
Yes. Yes, it was. Okay, so there's two. For 4 years. This was a video he did after he was on Science or Satire, where Team Skeptic had said, this is your third time being on this channel debating this subject. And that's where Riders of Dinosaurs was picking on him.
I gotta go to bed, guys, so I'll say good night.
Oh, bye.
Good night, Gina.
Bye. I'm
Bye,
tired.
Thanks for hanging out for so long.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. I've got a little bit of news.
More news. Okay.
More news. Just breaking news from the depths of the flat core. Fucking, I think we're fucked up, but we need to protect ourselves. Debate.
Yes.
All right. So apparently, Reds has just received a couple of emails. With dear sir, ma'am, Flat Earth Core is merely protecting its corporation interests by removing malicious content riddled with deliberate disinformation. If you wish to claim FE Core is committing fraud, I would suggest and encourage you take legal action against FE Core. And if you wish to re-upload your video without FE Core logo, you have every right to do so. Sincerely, the FE Core team. Followed up by a second email exactly, we'll call it 20 minutes later, with a little bit of change. With regards to this, the FE Core video of user Sly, FE Core.
Okay.
So the video that Sly released, FE Core has not taken those videos down. Third-party privacy claims took care of that. FE Core cannot be issued with a primary violation, but the video in itself was reported by FE Core also for disinformation. The video titled was misleading since the user presented statements made by individuals, and the individual and the corporate body are two separate entities. Therefore, the video is grossly misleading. We therefore applaud YouTube for taking action against the clear violation of its community guidelines. Sincerely, the FE Core team. Yeah, so this is coming through Twitter. I am not going to read Red's response.
No need to read that. I've got a lot to unpack from this.
It would be a half A4 3-paragraph letter.
Yep.
Basically, in essence, without getting into it, I'm going to paraphrase here, and please go crook at me if I take it too far. You're a pack of liars. You're full of shit. I'll see you in court. You're fucked. No, that's it.
That's about right. But they've made a critical error in the first email. They stated Sly Sparkane was taken down with privacy. He was first hit with a copyright strike before he was hit with the 7 privacy strikes for the 1 video.
So that's what's tweeting freshly off the
interwebs?
Off the interwebs as we're speaking.
But yes, they have just failed. Oh.
However, Sean Hufford's also released another video.
Yes, I see that.
Evidence for Anthony Liley.
Yep. Released at 10:54 p.m. my time, so that was only an hour ago. But the fact that
I'll give it it's only 4 minutes long. I'll give it a quick listen if you want, Terry. If you may want to play it, if you want to. I'll just listen to it first, though.
Yeah, you don't know what's in it.
I'll listen to it first to make sure that it's okay.
We may be able to just play the sound if that's even less of a problem.
Well, he has said, and he said today, anything on my channel that can be used for this situation, anyone from the globe Earth has free access.
Okay.
I believe at the moment he's making everything Creative Commons, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So that he still is able to control copyright to a degree.
So, if you just give me another 3 minutes, I'll finish listening to it.
Okay.
And then you can play this if you want, Terry.
Okay.
Another Dingo took my baby story.
Say again?
I said we'll play another Dingo took my baby story then.
All right.
I was only joking.
Oh, I'm not listening. I'm listening to Sean.
Oh, you're all right then. Okay.
Yeah, I put one in homeworks if you want to have a look at that one, Terry.
Yeah, I'm back in the homework.
Yeah.
How far up?
Down. I just posted it.
Okay. Secret Nazi Antarctic base, fact or fiction? Ooh.
I just thought, yeah, it'd be a time filler. It's a historical type thing.
Well, it only goes for 10 minutes. Yeah, I suppose we can squeeze that in. As long as I put it on the right voice meter thing so everyone can hear it.
All right. Terry, if you want to play that, you can.
Yeah, I'm playing something else while you're doing something.
Oh, all right.
So Gary of Iowa had tried to mirror Sean's video an hour ago. Your video may have been rejected due to terms of use copyright violation.
Yeah, just wait. This is even better. All right, so do you want to listen to this thing first of Terry's got up? And we'll come back to this Sean Hufford video.
Where am I? There I am. Play!
Was there a secret Nazi base in Antarctica? A glance at the internet suggests this is proven fact. But do the claims stand up to historical scrutiny? And how much is truth and how much fiction?
That obviously doesn't look real, that picture.
This is taken out of a James Bond film.
You think?
I believe so.
I believe the German on the right is probably on the Russian front in the middle of winter. And the thing on the top is... actually, that could be a modern Antarctic base. Because a lot of stuff out there is up on stilts like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. In Antarctica, they prefer to build closer to the ground, so that the wind shears don't rip them off the pylons.
Yeah, they like actually building them under the snow drifts if they can.
No, this is not right.
Terry, you got the side chat up? Is Terry even there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. You got the side chat up?
He's doodling.
Yeah, I'm getting technical stuff sorted.
Yeah, all right. So it's in the side chat for you, all right?
Shit. You're gonna make me do something different.
Oh well, I thought it would be the easiest way to get you the link.
Yeah. Well,
it should be.
Yeah, I just don't know what happened when I click it.
You'll get a new YouTube window open just over the one you've got open at the moment. That's the default behaviour.
Yeah, okay. We'll watch this and then we'll go back to Zoom window and then I can press that one. So we'll watch this and then I'll go to that.
Yes, let's watch Secret Nazi Antarctic Base.
AKA James Bond film.
Yep.
Did the Nazis visit Antarctica? The answer is a definite yes, and it's well documented. But sorry to disappoint anyone expecting tales of UFOs and secret bases. The German Antarctic expedition was considerably more mundane. Between December 1938 and April 1939, a German research vessel called the Schwabenland carried a Nazi expedition to the Antarctic coast in an area already claimed by Norway and known as Queen Maud Land. The German expedition, commanded by a professional naval officer, carried out scientific studies,
and you got colour video of it,
and named them after themselves, and flew many reconnaissance missions using 2 ship-launched Dornier floatplanes that included dropping metal swastika-adorned territorial markers claiming the area for the Third Reich. The expedition was launched because of whale oil. Germany, like many European nations at the time, needed huge quantities of whale oil for margarine production and other uses. Overhunting had meant that the whalers had to move into southern waters, and 50 German whale catchers and 7 factory ships operated off Queen Maud Land during the 1938-39 season. The Germans wanted to establish a secret base for German whalers on the Antarctic coast. Some amazing discoveries were made by the expedition, particularly aerial searches that discovered a strange warm region, the ice-free Schirmacher Oasis, now the location of 2 research stations in 2018. When World War II broke out, the British, who controlled a swathe of Antarctic territory, as well as the South Sandwich Islands, South Georgia and the Falkland Islands, were concerned about German surface raiders and U-boats interfering in the Allied whaling operations in the region. Indeed, in February 1941, the German auxiliary cruiser Penguin patrolled the Ross Sea off the Antarctic coast in an
They spelt penguin wrong.
attempt to sink Allied whalers. She seized over 20,000 tons of precious whale oil from 3 Norwegian vessels. Indeed, the British were so concerned that Germany or even Japan might attempt to use Antarctic coastal islands or the mainland as U-boat bases, that it launched Operation Tabarin in 1943. A side objective was to deter Argentina from its claims to the Falklands and other Antarctic islands. A number of small British bases were established in the area, and as well as looking out for enemy vessels, the staff conducted scientific research. This mission eventually morphed into the British Antarctic Survey, which still exists today. 2 of my previous videos have dealt with 2 mysterious German submarines, U-530 and U-977, that unexpectedly appeared and surrendered in Argentina months after World War II had ended in Europe. Both voyages are extremely suspicious.
All right. First thing is, this guy doesn't know where the Falkland Islands are.
No, definitely doesn't.
They are nowhere near Antarctica.
They're off the east coast somewhere.
Yes. They are off the coast of Argentina.
Yeah, about 300 miles.
Yep. And a lot of British soldiers lost their lives there in the 1980s.
Indeed.
Anyway, also the Ross Ice Shelf is Australian controlled, which is something he failed to mention.
Yeah, but that's part of the Commonwealth in those days. That's probably why he said it's British.
Because we claimed different parts of Antarctica to Australia.
Yeah, Australia. Yes, Australia laid claim to the Ross Ice Shelf back in 1903, I think.
This ties back to what we were watching the other day with Bob, with the treaty stuff of when things was first happening back then.
But also those 2 U-boats that got found in Argentina were lost because they were doing a reconnaissance of the mainland of the United States. And the only reason they surfaced was because they ran out of fucking food.
Well, didn't they bring a fishing rod?
And, of course, it was those 2 submarines that touted the boys from Brazil theories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because in theory they did have time to go pick up senior members of the Nazi Party and get to Argentina just from, given the timings.
Also, submarines don't travel very fast underwater in 1945.
No, they don't. In fact, submarines were designed to cruise on the surface and only submerge to attack targets.
Yeah.
Of course, the Allied long-range air stuff over the Atlantic actually was mostly what stopped them being effective, because all of a sudden they're down from cruising at 20 knots to cruising at 5 or 6
knots. Yeah, 8 knots maximum on the last U-boats that came out of Germany. 8 knots was their maximum underwater speed, fully laden. So to go undetected from Germany with the special people to get all the way around to Argentina. So
It's a hell of a way.
Yeah, okay. So you have to come down the coast of Africa, then you have to travel all the way across the ocean, and hopefully your food doesn't go stale by the time you get there. Some of this shit he's spouting is very far-fetched. Also, the oases that he's talking about on Antarctica, the bits where rocks are jutting out of the ice.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought that was like bits where even the ice didn't want to go.
It was too cold.
Too cold. Too cold for the ice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. On with the stupid.
And point to some kind of Nazi operation to land people or valuables in Argentina, which had a large German and pro-Nazi population. However, some people have suggested that one or both of these U-boats had first visited Antarctica before surrendering in Argentina. Some speculative and exaggerated newspaper stories in the local Argentine press at the time suggested that Hitler himself had been offloaded in Antarctica. The person responsible for this fiction was a Hungarian exile living in Argentina called Ladislas Szabo. He published a book called Hitler is Alive in 1947, setting out his evidence. Despite no actual concrete evidence, and the commander of both German submarines denying such a voyage or the existence of such a secret base, Szabo's fiction has become accepted fact in some quarters. Another problem with the idea of U-boats visiting the Antarctic coast is that June, July and August are the midwinter months in the southern hemisphere. A submarine would have trouble approaching the Antarctic coast. Pack ice, 1 to 2 meters thick, surrounds the coastline during the winter. It has been shown to extend between 500 and over 1,600 kilometers out from the coast between May and July. Both
those guys look a bit cold with the icicles hanging off their wet weather gear.
Bit of rum and coke.
Submarines would have to have travelled huge distances under the ice, many hundreds of kilometres or even thousands of kilometres. This was not feasible because these submarines were not true submarines but rather submersibles. They ran on the surface using diesel engines, and when submerged they could use a snorkel to suck in fresh air to allow the diesels to continue running, which would be impossible if they were under the ice. Or they could run on electric batteries which powered the motors, and these required recharging. The other thing was the crew needed fresh air, so every 2 days or so the submarine would have to have surfaced through the pack ice. And is this feasible? Could German U-boats of the size and type
Oh, we sprung a leak.
Really punch through 1 to 2 meters
Nah,
of
it's
ice?
alright, it's just the ice machines.
Navigation would have been very difficult due to 24-hour darkness and heavy cloud cover. If
Also,
they
Terry,
had reached the coast...
Can you stop for a minute? Slight problem. Antarctica is a continent, not an ice shelf.
Yeah, he said the ice came out.
There is ice shelves down there, though.
Yeah, but not. You wouldn't go 2 days under it. You couldn't. You'd hit land before you went 2 days under it. It's not like the Arctic, which is mostly just ice.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to go under the ice shelf. They just stick to the open water.
Yeah.
I thought he implied that the ice shelf was between 1,000 and 1,600 kilometres from the shore.
Yeah, that's what it is
out
in winter time. Yeah.
Between
not that
1,600 kilometres. You could probably 8 knots. You could sail underneath that for a bloody long time.
Yeah, and I have a feeling it's not as big as he says it is. I reckon he's got a phallic problem.
Yeah, but don't forget global warming. It's probably not as big as what it used to be.
Might have to find one of these fancy maps.
Yeah.
There's a good one that the flat earthers use called Google, mate. Apparently that's accurate.
Yeah, Google Pro, actually.
Yeah.
Alive, the U-boat crews would have then encountered average temperatures of minus 26 degrees Celsius with a wind speed of around 15 kilometers an hour, producing conditions of about minus 40 degrees Celsius. The story has been continuously elaborated down the decades. One story is Hitler's cremated remains were transported to the secret Nazi base in Antarctica and interred, along with boxes full of Nazi treasure hidden in an ice cave. Expanding on Szabo's original fiction, writers have even suggested that a 1947 US Navy expedition to Antarctica called Operation High Jump secretly battled die-hard Nazis and lost, the Nazis possibly having extraterrestrial assistance. In reality, High Jump was a huge exercise to train ships' companies and aircrew in operating in such hostile conditions, and to establish a US military base in Antarctica called Little America 4. One plane did indeed crash in Antarctica, and 3 of the crew members were killed, while another sailor was killed in an accident. Another story doing the rounds is linked to Operation Tabarin. It says an elite SAS unit had the German base under surveillance during the war. The British launched a commando attack to neutralize it around Christmas 1945, which failed. The German base was finally destroyed by exploding 3 atomic bombs above it in 1958. Aside from the dubious source material...
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
Terry.
I have numbers.
Terry.
BM Furbal's looking for a link.
I'll have to PM him.
I'll PM him once. Don't worry.
Thank you.
All right. And whilst we do that, I have some numbers.
Okay, what number have you got?
It's anywhere from 100 meters to 1,000 meters from the bedrock ice to the furthest ice shelf.
So less than a K.
Kilometer at maximum, or 3,000 feet.
Yeah, so less than a K.
Yeah. So his what was it, 1,000 to 1,600 miles?
Yeah.
But the important thing that they did actually state on there was that the snorkel had to be above the ice.
Yeah, for the diesel to breathe. Yeah, the diesel had to breathe.
The snorkel has to be above the ice. So on that premise alone, it would be fine if they were just floating around underneath, loose, small chunks of ice on the surface.
Yeah.
But actually, if they hit a ice shelf, they wouldn't be able to proceed under it for anything more than a few hours of battery.
No. But his idea that they would even attempt to go under the ice for 2 days is that there's nowhere to do it, really. What's the point of going around Antarctica under the ice when you could do it on the surface? Because there's nothing to find there. It's rock, landmass.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no windows on a submarine.
There's fly screens, though.
Yeah, they do have fly screens.
Hello, Mr. Furball.
Hey, Blake.
He's still muted himself.
He hasn't downloaded the Zoom app to get his avatar up.
There he goes.
No, I've got the Zoom app. I don't know why, and I'm logged into Zoom. I have like 4 things going up. I'm doing high IQ skepticism right now, so I couldn't find where I had to unmute myself.
Yeah, I've been doing all sorts of multitasking here. I've been here, there, over on your channel when you were live, and then watching stuff here.
Yeah, I don't know why my icon's not showing up here. Yeah.
When you come into this side of the globe, you have to shut at least 20 tabs.
And you logged in by copy and pasting it into the join page, join window.
It's a bit hard to do that on the phone, Terry.
Oh, you're on the phone, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. When I did this for when Sai used to use this for movie night, my icon popped up.
Yeah, you got to copy the link into the app.
Well, okay, then I will log out and I'll log back in so people know who I am. I'll be back.
Why is it that I figure out certain technology than other certain technology I'm completely up to shit with?
Oh, now we got nukes in Antarctica. Nice.
Yeah. That's why I phrased it on that. I thought that looked cool.
I was going to say, surely the rest of the world would have noticed 3 nuclear weapons going off over Antarctica.
We would have felt it here in Australia.
Yeah, we would have nearly seen it, wouldn't we? No, not that.
Yes. Well, depending on the time.
Oh, look, I see pancakes on a flat Earth.
Oh, look.
It's the Earth pancake atlas. You know, like the atlas holding up the Earth.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I know, it's a dumb icon. I thought of it a year ago, and oh well.
So we can either wait another 3 minutes for this to finish, and then we can hear the what's the word for it?
Harford.
Oh, you got that too, yeah. Yeah, but I reckon I can make a prediction of what happened on Riley and Furball's interview.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. You can finish your video so everybody can see the excitement.
I want to make a prediction.
The reality of an SAS raid in Christmas 1945 was impossible, as the regiment had been disbanded in October 1945 and was not reformed until 1948. Some writers suggest that the truth of all this has been suppressed from the general public. The problem is, all of this has an element of truth to it. The Germans did indeed plan to build an Antarctic base, but were interrupted by the outbreak of World War II. There were secret British bases in Antarctica during the war. Operation High Jump was a military operation, and indeed 3 nuclear weapons were detonated in the general region in 1958.
No, they were not.
The atomic blast, codenamed Operation Argus,
yes, they
were conducted by the
in
United States 1,760 kilometers southwest of Cape Town, South Africa. They were 3 very high-altitude test shots. The closest detonation to Queen Maud Land in Antarctica and the purported German base was number 2, which exploded 2,280 kilometers north at an altitude of 290 kilometers, which is a bit high if you're trying to knock out the secret Nazi base. If a German base exists in the area several writers have alleged it to be in, then why hasn't it been found in nearly 80 years? Queen Maud Land has been visited by over 1,000 scientists in those decades. There are many modern bases in the region, yet not one piece of corroborated physical evidence has ever emerged. Truth has been interwoven with fiction, and the resulting mix served up as fact to the general public, perpetuated and further exaggerated by the internet and by books and TV programs of dubious veracity.
Oh, that damn internet.
I hope you've enjoyed this film. Please subscribe, share and support my work at Patreon or
No, I did not enjoy your work because it was full of shit.
Yeah, but that's what he was saying.
I think it was complete bollocks.
Okay, tell us what you really feel, Alan.
He said the nuclear tests were done over 2,000 kilometers north of the Antarctic shelf. So that's almost 10% the distance. So
it was close, but it was not that close.
Hello, everybody.
Huh?
Do I hear the voice of God?
Yes, you do. The voice is our next subject.
How long does it go for? 4 minutes.
It's only 4 minutes, Terry, so it's a nice quick one.
So you reckon we'll get
is this Sean's new one from today?
This is for the one that Sean just released an hour ago. An hour and a half ago.
Yeah, I haven't watched this one yet.
Oh, So we're not allowed to watch it.
No, we're going to break him. I'm excited. I want to watch it.
We've got news. Apparently, Mike is now doubling back and saying that he...
You might want to share to the video.
Shit, technical difficulties.
Shit. Technical difficulties.
Wait a minute.
What it looks like that you're going to select.
You have to bring up fucking Donkey Kong and stuff like that.
Yeah, just don't show us Red's Pornhub.
Midget donkey porn.
There must be a way to do this. Right, the outside have got the screen. I've got it.
No, they haven't.
Oh, they might.
Okay.
Take a few seconds.
They're there.
Yeah, they're there.
Oh.
But I don't know which one of these it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Hulu. Who wants Hulu?
How do I get help when I can't show what I need help for?
You need to call tech support.
Alan.
Oh wait, Alan's here.
When you click the share button, it shows you a preview of the screen you're going to select, and
just click it.
Just select the one you want.
Yeah.
There we go. Now pick the video.
Is that the right one?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
Press play.
It had the FE Core logo along with a poo emoji. Anthony's bragging about how we don't know what we're talking about.
That's not the right one.
That is the right one. Keep playing.
Talking about. And there's evidence to suggest that Mike is lying to Anthony and everybody else about what was actually copyright stricken. So, as you see on my screen, it's a VLC video that I just got done recording because I've actually done this. This is the second time I've done this. This time it's for Anthony's benefit. I wanted to get it on video to show that it's legitimate. If Mike had only copyright struck the logo, the content of the video would not be copyright claimed. But let's see what happens when I've actually downloaded the video from my own channel where Red's thumbnail is not in use, and I try to re-upload my video on my own channel. So, here we go. I just started recording with OBS. There is the FE Core, the fraud video that I'm about to upload to YouTube on my own channel after downloading it from my own channel. And you'll like this. It takes a couple minutes to process, but the processing is really important, because watch what happens after it gets done. So I am looking at chat now while we're waiting for this to upload and process in the video. So, what's up, bro? Not much, just getting really irritated that Anthony is literally buying every lie that Mike keeps selling him.
Okay, I feel his pain.
So I
I know
uploaded
what
this
it's
as an
like waiting
unlisted
for
video
those
because
last
if you push it
5%.
public and you get these issues, it can actually impact your channel. So I uploaded this as unlisted just to test this on video for Anthony. But watch what happens. It's really, really interesting that, you know, I just downloaded my own video, re-upload it, and wait till you'll see what the answer is, what YouTube decides because of processing. So everything looks fine here. I hit done. Still got no notification. But watch. Once I actually go to the video, watch what happens. Doopy doopy doo. Come on. I'm actually waiting for the error to pop up, but it doesn't do that on this upload. The first upload, it actually gave me the error as soon as it got done processing. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's terms of service, for downloading my own video and re-uploading it directly to my own channel. Why did this happen? Because there is a copyright dispute for the contents of the video, not because of Red's thumbnail. And as you see here, removed, terms of service violation. It is ineligible for monetization because it has a outstanding copyright claim by FE Core against Red's rhetoric. If it was only the thumbnail that was given the copyright strike, this would not occur. Anthony, you've been sold a lie and bought it hook, line, and sinker, and are bragging about how much we don't know. Mike Cavanaugh literally copyright struck my video on Red's Rhetoric's channel. That's all that needs to be said.
Oh shit.
That's really that's twisted, that is.
I hope I'm not right, but I have done this before where I was having issues with a video and I re-uploaded it while it was like in process. And oh, where's that folder going to be? And it gave me an error basically because I doubled up on the same video. Unlisted. This should be showing. Oh, wait, no, that's not going to be it. Damn it. I'm trying to upload the full video. So I've got one that's 28 seconds. Cancel upload. How about I just download my own video like he did?
Yeah, okay.
I just want to make sure that Sean isn't wrong because I know I've done this before with my own videos. And I would screen share right now, but the website I usually use to download YouTube videos, it usually pops up with like an extremely explicit advertisement.
Oh, okay.
Blake, I have a tweet from Gary from Iowa.
Uh-huh.
Who tried to do this about an hour and a half ago himself.
Mm-hmm.
Received the same error message.
You can actually download Sean Huffer's video and then try to upload it onto your own video, onto your own YouTube, and it won't work.
Wow.
Okay. I just know that, like I said, I've done this before where I have uploaded 2 exact copies of the same video to my account, and it wouldn't let me.
Yeah, well,
so I can see what. Yeah, I can see why Sean might have that issue, but it wouldn't block other people from mirroring it.
Yeah, so at this point in time, you can't mirror his video.
Huh.
Of a building with no signage.
No signage. Him walking walking around the outside giving a history lesson about the building.
What is taking this so long?
Because you're in Korea.
I have the best internet on the planet. You know that, right?
Says the guy who can't upload a 28-second video.
I'm downloading it, not uploading.
That's not any better.
I'm also on a MacBook, so take that.
That explains it all.
No excuses. No excuses. No excuses.
Okay, save file. Okay. Okay. And now is when the porn advertisement pops up. I need to find a better YouTube downloader.
What, do you use Metal Monkey?
I literally Google YouTube downloader and I randomly pick. So I don't really always use the same one the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got my video on the uploader page. Let's upload a video. Come on. Unlisted. 8 seconds. Processing. 34%. 95%. Hey, I'm non-sec. All right. It going through the same thing that Sean had. Oh, it's working. Okay. Just double checking. Like I said, I've had that error before where YouTube prevented me from uploading the same video twice. But apparently it's not a thing they care about anymore because it worked. And Mike Kavanaugh's a douche.
Oh, I can rewatch your video without... But I can't... okay.
Mine's an hour long. You don't want to do that. That's way too much Anthony.
I was going to try to fast forward the good bits, but...
Yeah, because if you do that, I'll have to add you to my 12-page complaint for my brain cells back.
I reckon it was the same video as what part 1 was.
Well, there was more. There was religion. There was history that, you know, there's no proof that humans existed 200 years ago, blah, blah, blah.
There's no proof. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't remember if I talked to you guys about this last or a couple days ago. I think I did, about the experiment we agreed to. We spent like 20 minutes ironing out the details of it, but he flat out said that that would be proof of a globe. Now I just need people in South America and Africa to help.
Yeah. Okay. Carl.
Carl's too far south.
Looking. You got your broomstick ready?
Carl's too far south.
So I've been chatting with Anthony all week. He's trying to convince me that Einstein debunked Newton and all that kind of stupid shit.
No.
And then with the FE core stuff that came out today, I sent him a message. I said, honestly, man, I'm enjoying chatting with you and trying to challenge each other's beliefs. But if you're involved in the unethical behavior of FE core, then we have nothing more to talk about. I'll associate with someone I disagree with, but not someone that is involved in blatant, unethical, and fraudulent behavior claiming other people's content is their own. I was hoping that would start a dialogue with him. His response, okay, see you around. And then he disconnected from me on Skype.
Oh.
No defense of it at all.
Oh, dear.
And for him not to turn around and say, that's not what I did, or that wasn't me, I've got nothing to do with that.
And we've been chatting daily since the interview.
Yeah, but he fudged up like 15 hours ago when he said what he said in Steve McRae's chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody record that?
I've heard rumours that the whole lot was recorded because it was in the live chat on the side.
But he immediately deleted it, and the video it was on did not have a live chat on screen. So unless somebody was doing a screen capture of it,
hang on, Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine might have it on it.
I don't know.
So you're saying Steve's stream didn't have live chat recorded.
He didn't have it on screen.
No,
So if you have it on screen, I think
it'll still be on the side.
Yes, but if you delete it, it deletes it from the server. So in the replay, it's not there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only way you would get it then is if somebody was actively recording the live chat, and then you'd see it pop up and then get marked as deleted.
Guess what?
What's
It's
up?
got live chat replay.
Oh.
Yeah, but because he deleted it, that removes it from the live chat.
It might not turn up.
Let me have a look.
Yeah, where is it?
Oh, look, there's Peter Harrington.
Oh, that little prick.
Yeah,
And being incredible.
Oh, hang on, that's my name. I better not use this.
I was going to time him out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you delete your comment, that it's gone. It doesn't maintain on the server.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get all, like, Unirock up in this business, and...
Unirock's already heavily
Red's,
into it.
Red's rhetoric has turned up.
Yeah, I don't remember how far into it was.
It was probably
Just
it would
not
be
much.
at least halfway, I reckon.
It was not much after Red's turn. Oh, yeah, it wasn't that much after Red's turned up. And they challenged him to come in, and of course he ran away.
It's just like if somebody types something and it gets deleted by one of the mods, that doesn't stay in the side chat. That disappears forever. Unless the live chat is being broadcast on screen, and then it would be recorded as part of the video. I should probably go to bed. It's after midnight.
And?
That's Saturday.
I have to be on the shills in 7 hours.
And?
6 hours minimum sleep.
At least tomorrow isn't a Canar with Damar day. That's waking up at 5.
Yeah, no, I caught last week's one, and no, it killed me for the rest of the day.
Yeah, well, our live streams mainly cater for the European market. Americans, it's too early in the morning for them to come on here to watch us.
Is it 82 or 81 days to go, bloke, in Korea?
80.
80.
Actually, it might be 79 now.
Oh.
Because I'm past midnight.
It's getting there.
You said 80 yesterday.
Yeah.
79.
Oh. You got to go and spend 3 or 4 weeks up near the border, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I head up there on the 15th of October.
You get all demilitarized, don't you?
Are you having that barbecue next to the fence?
What's that?
I said, you're going to still have that barbecue next to the fence?
No, I'm not going to do the barbecue next to the fence like Pig wants.
I dare you to spit on the border.
Don't.
No, I don't want to get arrested.
Oh, it's not that you'd get arrested; it's that you would cause a international incident.
Oh, it's the little red race. It's the little red race.
I like my job.
Is the little
You never know. Trump might come and visit there again.
Is the little red racing car still going?
It is. It's only got another month to go, month and a half until I get out of here, and it's still leaking like a sieve.
You got any plans on what to do with it?
I'm going to offer it to my replacement if she wants to buy it for $100, or I'm going to scrap it because seriously, I have a puddle of oil under my car.
Well, she buys it for 100. Hand her a 4-litre bottle of oil and say, "This comes with it."
Yep. All right, I gotta dip out because I've gotta finish up the video for part 3 of Anthony. That's not quite done yet. I've got to get it start rendering for the night.
When will that be coming out?
Same time tomorrow night.
Okay then. We don't stream tomorrow night. Or tonight.
It's Labor Day weekend for me. I have a 4-day weekend.
Oh, okay. We can have a special stream for you if you want.
It's Father's Day for us tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Father's Day.
Hopefully sometime tomorrow I might be doing a live stream with Baldy Cats.
Oh.
He wants me to do a presentation on the Cavendish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, you all have a good night.
No, you
All right,
too.
buddy. Take it easy.
See ya, mate.
Thanks for dropping by. Ah, dear. How long have you been going for?
Oh, long enough.
3 hours and 43 minutes.
Sorry, I'm dying.
Cough it up. It's a fur ball.
That's fixed it.
Ah, dear. What other random
timestamp
nonsense?
are you up to, Demonic? You can't hear. He's too busy listening to.
There's a hiccup in the live chat.
Where? What's the hiccup?
Around the 1 hour 27 minute mark.
1 hour 27.
Yeah, it's like it shuts down and comes back online.
The live chat?
Yeah.
In Steve McRae's
Oh,
live
okay.
stream.
Oh, sorry.
Not you.
You mean like it's been purposely edited?
I couldn't tell. It just.
So 1 hour 27, you reckon?
Hey, Alan, you know all that clipping sound I kept hearing all the time through my playbacks and everything? I think I found out what it was. Oh, Alan.
Wake up.
Alan.
Hello.
Hello. Anyway, for anyone that knows the story about what I was saying about the clipping I was hearing, I think it's my headphones.
Ah.
Because every now and again the right-hand side keeps cutting out, and if I move with the leads on it, it makes that same sound, and then it cuts in again. So I've got
when you moved it just then, Terry, it did cut out a bit.
Well, no, I haven't got it back on my headphones.
Maybe your mic it was cutting out.
I don't know why the mic would. The mic's not connected to the headphone.
I don't know. But
unless the power goes through the headphones back through the system and it affects the mic.
Could.
Yeah. More things to fix. I just need a bit of wiring that's just similar to the headphone type wiring, and I can rewire it all up. Have we got any more nonsense?
I don't think so.
No.
We only got 11 watching, so...
Well, maybe ask them if they want to watch another one, or...
Well, there's Dinky Die. I can't read. Grisball. Who else is in there? I don't know who this Carl is. Gently Channels was in there a minute ago.
Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows who that Carl is.
No, we don't.
No,
know
just
who
ignore him.
It just lurks.
Yeah.
Nobody
Something's
likes
broken
him.
with his fingers.
Nobody likes him. They just look at him and laugh.
I point the fingers and
That's
laugh.
all he does is type.
Carl, my neighbour turned up today and told me she managed to catch the feral tom that has been terrorising the neighbourhood, so my boy, once he gets better, can go outside soon. I've got no idea what that story is about. Which Carl do you mean, though? What do you mean there's more than one Carl?
No, Carl Edwards has been lurking. Always lurking.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, for some reason I have gaps in the live chat for that video.
Carl likes to keep the crowd happy, entertains the crowd in the chat.
Tay posted something in our side chat just a minute ago. Oh, not a minute ago, actually, a bit longer than that. Back on Discord. Well, I've run out of videos because I've been so busy sorting stuff out. I don't know if my sound card's making any difference or not to the system. Right, no idea.
The stuff that was posted on Discord was the two things that I read out earlier.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can't read it anyway. Yeah. Oh, well, we might end it here, folks, if there's no more further intellectual advancements on our learning.
Yeah, I think our brains are getting tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ozzie Globehead's brain looks like it's swelled a bit. Looks like a planet.
Yeah, and I've only just got one eye. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how drunk he is on power, because he has to close one eye so he can see straight.
And I
I'm Illuminati.
and I haven't seen the planet.
333 Freemason. Yay!
Oh no!
And I'm still waiting for Carl's planet to rotate. It seems to be fixed in orbit. Oh, I think we'll say good night to the fine folks out in the peanut gallery out there.
Good night, Peanut.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. But Carl.
Good night.
And Alan must have went to sleep because we haven't heard
Good
from
night,
him
Alan.
for a while.
Good night. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Don't panic.
Nighty night. Yeah.
Bye all.
How do I get that to do that? Come on, work. Why isn't that working? That works. But that's not working. No. Ah, dear oh dear.
Another Terry problem.
Yeah, I don't know why that didn't work.
Have you stopped?
I will be in about 2 seconds, so once everyone says good night, that's it. Good night, everybody. That's it, we're stopped. We're stopped now. Now we can wake Alan up.
Why? Did you know we're still live?
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. I'm
yeah,
watching it.
You got to wait for it to catch up. It'll catch up any minute now. Should have caught up by now.
No, it's still live.
It usually takes 15 seconds.
Morning, everyone.
Alive.
We're still live.
Chris Bates says we are.